Work.
Yeah, we did all of that.
You got to give like a new link every week to
All right, here we
somebody.
go.
Ready?
Go.
The first stop to the next stop. Covering all your sports info. You step in and stand clear.
Let's go. Don't stop.
You got Super Dave, Coach Kirk,
What the hell? Oh, that's my phone. Shit.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip hop and sports live.
Living relic. I'm not talking no more. Same thing. All right, y'all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Monday, March 18th. We are live. It is Super Dave along with Coach Kurt,
Yes, yes, yes.
Serge the Sports Star,
What's happening, everybody?
Todd the Magnificent,
Back in the building and ready to go.
Slick the Relic
The living fossil.
in the building. All right, y'all. Good afternoon, John Green. Good afternoon, everybody. We think we got it right this week, so let's do this. We got 2 hours to talk about some things in the world of sports. How was everybody's weekend? We're going to start off with Coach Kurt.
Everything was good, man. You know, lots of basketball, the tournaments, the college just getting ready to start. Tournament. A little disappointed St. John's didn't get in, but it is what it is.
Interesting. We're going to get back to that in a second. Sports Star, talk about it. How was it, the weekend?
Weekend was good.
All right.
Full of sports, so that's always a good thing.
All right. Magnificent.
You know me, I always have a blessed weekend.
No doubt.
You
No
already
doubt.
know.
The Living Fossil, talk to us.
Bittersweet. Still a nation stand up.
Copy.
Sit
So
back
I-
down.
Sorry, so let's talk about college basketball. Being that Coach Kurt is a little well, I'm not saying depressed, but he's a little annoyed about the fact that St. John's didn't make it.
Yes.
The question should be, do y'all think that they deserve to make it? Let's go
I
around
do.
the room.
Their strength of schedule was harder than some of the teams that got an at-large bid like St. John's would have gotten. Their strength of schedule. And what you said, Mountain West is what you said?
Mountain
MWC.
West.
They got 6 people that came in there and their
6 teams.
records 6 teams rather.
Well, what happened was I think the regular season champ was different than the tournament champ. So naturally, those I understand.
All right,
those
so
two
they go
get-
2 teams.
That's 2 teams. The other ones, I don't understand how they
Right.
why they got in.
There's
I
no
was trying
way, and their strength of schedule is stronger than the Big
It
East.
wasn't. I was looking it
Not
up
the Big East.
before I left the house. I couldn't get all of it,
And St. John's won what 6 in a row before they lost to Connecticut,
and that was a close game.
and that was a close game.
Right, and they beat Creighton. Then
And
they
right,
beat
yes,
they
they
beat
did.
Marquette,
Yes,
and those 2 teams was in the top 10.
yes. So we already. It's funny how every year somebody gets
Right, somebody's
left
gonna
out
get squeezed.
who
out.
deserve to be in. It just
Right.
happened to be their time. But what do you think about them not going to the NIT,
I'm sure he
not taking up?
because he didn't make that decision without talking to
I
them.
would think, yeah, you would hope so.
Right.
Sir,
they
what,
was-
what's your spin on that St. John's thing? Do you think they should have got it?
They should have got in
Right.
based on the what they call the net and the Ken Palm.
Right.
Theirs was much higher than any one of the teams that came out of the Mountain West. They was 25.
Mhm.
The closest team, I think, is San Diego State, and they 35. And everybody else is lower than that
Mm.
as far as the numbers. And according to them, a lot of what they do is analytics, and they go by numbers, but they didn't go by numbers this time.
Mhm.
Right.
But I mean, I got a theory on that, but I'm gonna say that for when I do my little spot, because I think that was one of the things I was gonna bring up.
Mhm.
That's cool. So I just think, well, everybody, there's like what teams have to qualify. And why didn't they even get a chance to qualify, like, to play, to enter?
They did.
No, like now there's still teams that have to
Oh
qualify
yeah, the
to get in.
68. Yeah, the
Right.
last bottom 4.
Right.
I
but
agree
those,
with you.
Right, those are smaller schools,
Yeah.
and those and like
But they smaller schools, but 3 out of the 8 is from that Mountain West Conference.
I know, ain't that crazy?
Right.
So how
So
you
why not the
how
Big
you
East?
justifying right?
Right.
How you
And why not the
justifying
Big
it when you
East?
put
I
them
agree
in
with
them
that.
games?
And you put them in.
Right, I agree with that.
Right. So, and
They should at least been in that.
Right.
That's
Play
they call
to
like the last
qualify.
four in,
Right.
first four
Yeah,
out.
That
I
is
think.
crazy.
Yeah.
Was it
Right.
Boise State,
Yeah.
Colorado State, and then
Yeah.
And
They
one
should have
of the-
one of them
definitely.
was playing Howard. I think Colorado State plays Howard.
So
One of
John Green said analytics is wrecking sports in general.
I agree with that.
Everybody agree with
No,
that.
I agree
but I
with that.
mean,
I don't
you
do
know,
analytics.
is it
Yep,
is-
it's right there, number 2 behind money.
is it a
You-
situation where
You right about that.
we should be like, yo, taking my ball and go home? You know, that's sort of what they did when they said, well, y'all could get invited to the NIT and y'all not doing us right
Right.
for the big
To
dance.
me,
Why should I
analytics
play the little?
analytics takes away from if you're coaching, you're not coaching because you're going by what something says on the paper.
Mhm.
Instead of going by the feel of the game and knowing what you know about the game.
Right.
Oh, because they say this is what you do, so we do it.
Mhm.
That's not coaching.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's taken away from the people who's making these decisions.
It's like you follow on a program.
Right. You're following the program. The people that's making these decisions to put these teams in is taking a weight off of them
Mhm.
because analytics say that this team should be in. No, you got to go by, you got to break it down. We put you in that position so you could break down the conferences, the strength of schedule, and so forth and so on, and make a decision.
Right.
And stand by. Don't
Right.
go by, stand by what the analytics say. Don't
Right.
do that.
What you think about that, man?
I agree to an extent. Big East should, based on their reputation,
Mm.
you would always think they would get a school in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got
Especially,
3.
like
You
said,
mean
No,
at
they got-
large bids?
They got
Right.
3 in, but it should have been more.
right, especially the at large business, like
Right.
you said. So
Is the Big East as big as it used to be?
No,
They
it's-
the-
No.
they
the
the-
No.
reputation ain't there. like
No,
it
but
used
it
to
don't
be.
matter with reputation. They're the number 2 ranked
conference
conference
in the country.
in basketball.
Yeah.
Number 2.
You got
Right.
Some
3
people say
teams?
number 3, and they only got 3 teams in. Seton Hall should have got in because
They
they
shoulda
was
got in
13
too.
and 7 in the conference, and they
Yeah.
beat the number 1 overall team in Connecticut
Mhm.
during the
That's
season.
right, they
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
St. John's had that nice run at the end. They beat Creighton, which is a top 12 team,
Mhm.
Right.
and they played UConn tough.
Mhm.
They lost that game by 5 points.
5 points. Right.
So it wasn't
And-
like
and
they got
Creighton,
blown out.
towards the end of the year, they lost
Right.
like about 3 or 4 games or
Right.
something like that. They lost.
Right.
With St. John's won 6 in a row. So
There was a time
They
when
didn't
Big
end
East
strong
wins,
Creighton.
Big East 18 wins was getting you in.
Back in the day, yeah.
yeah.
Back in
Well,
the day.
20 was guaranteed.
Right.
20 was
But that's not even like that anymore. So
Right. So,
I was looking at because Colorado State, if they win, they'll be number 10 seed.
Right,
Boise State, the same thing.
right.
San Diego State is number 5 seed.
Right.
New Mexico is 11th seed,
And they got 2 number 7.
which I don't understand. Why? How are you 11th seed? But if Colorado State wins in the play-in game, they're number 10. I don't get that.
because New Mexico State, the only reason they in is because they won that tournament. Because if they hadn't won the tournament, they wouldn't have been in.
Right.
They won the whole Mountain West Conference
Right.
tournament, so
I
they
thought
got the
no harder
automatic
They get
bid.
the at
No?
large.
No,
Oh,
it was New
okay.
Mexico.
which is what I was going to say. NC State
A lot of times,
ran the table.
right.
Right.
A lot of times,
Right.
They-
yeah.
Or they might not have been in.
a lot of times, what happens with these bids, the at-large bids, these teams who are not expected to win and they win,
Right.
it's gonna knock somebody out
Right.
Mhm.
who should be in.
Right. That's
Because
true.
the at-large bids automatically
the
get
thing
in.
this year,
So that's
was
gonna
that
knock some people out.
there was 5 teams that they said they didn't expect, and normally is 1 or 2 teams that wasn't gonna make it.
That won the
get in.
tournament.
Right.
Yeah. One day.
This year is 5 of them,
Mm.
so that knocked out 5 different teams that
Right.
because 5 teams weren't gonna be there,
Right.
but they won their tournament.
Illinois as well, as John Green
Yeah.
adds. But you know, I like to say right now, you know, everybody the first stop, the next stop, like and subscribe. We're on YouTube and Facebook. All right. So, and if you share in the read, identify yourself, like and subscribe. YouTube. All right. Before we open up the phone lines, we're just gonna
Mhm.
chop it up a bit, and then we'll invite some people to call in.
Okay.
All right. So
Go ahead. They don't
Somebody-
follow.
They don't follow.
People don't follow
We ain't
instructions.
answering.
You
Tell
gotta
them to call
follow
back.
instructions.
Tell them to call back. We're not
All
gonna
right,
answer
all
right now.
this is my cousin. He's from California. He's special. Yo, what's up?
Okay, on the show. That's why I called you.
What is
What
that?
happened?
I catch you. I'm watching a repeat. I guess I'm trying to figure out how to get the show. I'll call you back.
Call. Tune into YouTube or
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live. First stop to next.
I
stop.
am a Facebook Live.
First stop to the next stop. Get off my page.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right.
what
Well,
was
well, maybe being that he was tuning in and he was seeing something else. Maybe I told him call in. At the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Maybe he got the wrong show. We apologize.
Right.
We take it back.
Nah.
So where we going?
But I want to say something on that what we started talking about before we got on there. As far as the St. John's not accepting the invitation to the NIT.
Right.
And I heard something that was kind of interesting because I was against it, and I texted y'all yesterday. I said, I don't think that's a good move for the coach. But in reality, what I heard today made me change my mind a little bit because St. John's is still a big-time program.
Right.
And when you go recruit these kids, you are telling these kids you have a chance to win a national championship if you come to my school. We ain't talk about winning the NIT.
True.
You ain't going to somebody's home telling the kid, well, we go to the NIT, we the NIT champions. What that get? You know what I mean? That ain't getting them excited.
No, it's not.
So
They used to.
It
They used
Yeah,
to. Well, that
so-
used to be the championship thing back in the days
The cool
before the
grind,
NCAA. The
right,
NIT was the big thing
Right,
to
it
win.
was the big thing.
But now that things changed, none of these guys, these big time schools, and like I said, St. John's is still a big time program, is going to the people home, the
Mhm.
recruits, and telling them you got a chance to win the NIT.
Well,
You ain't trying to hear that.
well, you know what's so
You know.
funny about that though? Like sometimes you might need to participate to make that tournament grow. So
Teams have done that in the past.
But it's
But-
too late for the NIT because now,
It's not even at the Garden anymore.
right.
It's not.
No,
not for just the championship.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah. No,
no,
the championship
no.
game's not there.
Indianapolis.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It's not at the Garden no more.
I
I
know
didn't
they
know
was,
that.
I know they wasn't there.
No, Indianapolis. They changed it to Indianapolis.
Get out of
That's
here.
crazy.
Yeah, so who
Wow.
wants to play in that now? It's like
Oh,
you're
wow.
not. You don't even have a chance to play. Found that out today too.
Wow.
You don't even have a chance to play at the Garden no more for the championship.
That's
It's
crazy.
in Indianapolis. So
I
who
didn't-
wants to go there?
Wow. I didn't
well,
even
the
hear that.
All-Star game was there. I mean, come on. Again,
You know, I
Again,
found out
well,
today. Believe it or
Wow.
not,
I guess sometimes if you win something and
I get it. They
And you
can build
coulda
up the
said-
young players, but these guys, not
Yeah,
to
but
cut you
those
off,
are-
but most of these guys now are looking right now instead of continue to play. They doing the transfer portal,
Right.
so they trying to see what schools they could go
Mhm.
to. So they might not want to play it anyway. You know, that's another thing
That's
because
true,
of the
too.
transfer portal
Right.
now that
yeah,
they
that's
have.
what John Green said.
Right.
The NCAA has to change the opening. of
Right.
the
So
transfer
this is the
portal,
time for them
which
to
is
get
today.
in.
Yeah. You
So if they out there playing,
Mhm.
they might not have the chance to get in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's another thing that's
It's-
stopping the teams from going there too.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it
but,
is.
we was talking about that one time before when I was talking about the football
Mhm.
league, and Coach Kurt pointed out that they had 4 different championships. So like it was the Springfield High School Eagles. They won a championship. They beat Staten Island, but I don't know which was the biggest.
Yeah, they got
City
A,
championship.
double A, triple A, 4 A's.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't know that
I
either
didn't know
until I
that.
looked at because when he told me about Springfield, I looked it up. I said Springfield won the championship, and I said, well, okay, let me look up because I know there's some big programs, So I looked it up, and there was 4 different brackets,
Wow.
Yeah, that's for
and the
all-
same thing with basketball.
Yeah, so
Oh,
all sports.
To
Yeah,
move
we
on,
saw it.
they canceled the championship game
In
for
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn,
Yeah, St. Jefferson against South Shore.
yeah, was it Jefferson?
No, it was South Shore against somebody
it
else.
was South Shore against
Eagles.
somebody.
The
Eagle
Eagles.
Academy.
Yeah,
Because
against
the
South Shore.
I can't even get it out.
Ineligible play.
Ineligible play.
But what happened was St. John's
Is that
blew
football or basketball?
basketball.
Basketball.
St. John's blew the whistle on a player
Right.
on South Shore
Mhm.
because they blew the whistle. South Shore blew the whistle on Jefferson. They had a
Right.
player that used to play with South Shore, and he was ineligible. And he went there and he
Ineligible, right.
played, and he was like, "How can this guy be playing for y'all when he was with us? He
Right.
can never stay eligible."
Right.
So they blew. So in turn,
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson told the officials, "Well, you need to look at South Shore
Mm-hmm.
and look at them and their players." And sure enough, found that a lot of them was
A lot of them were
ineligible.
ineligible.
So they canceled the
They
game.
canceled the game.
And
I
now
was
they
like,
came
what
out with these strict
the-
rules going forward
Yep.
that they with the regime in place,
the-
they cracking down on all of that.
Mhm.
If you can't pass your classes, you are not playing.
But the
Like it was when I played.
Right.
The Jefferson kids
What
was
class
about
was you taking?
was
He was
about
20.
classes.
And he was 20
The
years
South
old.
Shore guys was
Right.
about age.
Age.
Because the guy was too old.
And
They
what
should
class
have figured
was
he's
that?
been in high school for
What
7
class?
years.
Yeah, basket weaving,
Oh, I-
101. I mean, what classes were you taking?
I don't know. They said he couldn't stay eligible the whole time he was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
He just coming to practice.
and these guys
that's
was
it.
playing.
Coming to
So
practice.
it's
That's
not
been the
bad.
case forever.
That's true
Sleepy
too.
Floyd, remember? No,
Oh,
not trying to just
Lloyd,
nobody
Sweet
called
Pete, Daniel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all went through that if you could
I
play,
meant Lloyd.
but
What's
That's
the
what I
other
meant.
kid?
Walter Berry? I
No,
don't
the
know.
one who was going against LeBron. LeBron hit the shot. Lenny
Oh,
Cook.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lenny Cook.
Another guy.
yeah.
These guys are all great players, but
Yeah.
They
as
don't
far
go to
as
school.
the books was concerned.
Right.
And then the part that killed me, and I don't mean to say this is true, but the Clario was on New York One News, the guy from Cardozo, the
Right.
legendary
Right.
head coach from
Yeah.
Cardozo. He said, "Oh, none of my guys. We always made sure that everybody was
Oh,
elevated."
please.
Yeah, you did, because you was going to the teacher to say, "Look, he can't get a D. He needs a C minus."
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Come
It-
on.
Right.
In pottery
Right.
or whatever the hell these
It
boys was
basket
taking up.
weaving,
You're gonna
remember?
tell
No.
me that these kids, none of your kids was ever ineligible and
Oh,
you played them? Come on, man, stop it. Every school,
Well,
Every school guy.
every school.
If you're a
I know when
star
I went
player,
to school, they didn't do it. My
right.
son,
Well,
you
that's
fell,
back then. Like
you couldn't play.
these Lua days, because especially remember
couldn't
how
play.
Tiny used to be able to get these guys to
Yeah.
transfer over to
Lincoln.
to Lincoln all
But
the
you
time.
know what?
Where you get these guys from?
that
But
a
you know
long
what?
time
Not-
ago for the
even back then,
That was
even
after.
back then, if you was that good, they was finding a way to keep
I-
you on the team.
Right, I ain't saying long. I said that was his words.
I'm not gonna say it didn't happen when we
I
was.
asked you. I don't know.
I said I'm talking about
Somebody
Tiny
always
was
slipped
after.
through the cracks.
Oh,
If you
oh,
was
all
good
I
enough,
know is
if
I
you
was
was good
If
enough.
you
high
was good
school
enough,
and
if you
all
was
that
that
going
good, and and like Coach said, if you didn't want them,
Somebody
Tiny
else.
Martin was gonna take
Tiny
you at
was gonna
Lincoln and
take
win a
him.
championship
Yeah.
using that same kid you
Same
said was
kid.
ineligible
Hey,
because
the
the
kid lived
math.
way on the other side of town and said, but he got him the transfer.
The math
Yeah.
at Lincoln was 1 + 1 = 3.
Yep.
You don't have to say 2. 3 is close enough. You get a C+.
Yeah. Doing the bell. Ding, ding, ding.
That's
Oh,
it.
man. No, you're right though. It's
You
crazy.
get a
Come on,
grade.
man.
You
But
get
see,
a
you
grade.
blow the whistle on somebody.
And it's funny because
You
it's
blow the whistle on somebody, then it came back and turned
Came
on
back,
you. The
turned
guy
on
said, "Oh,
you.
you want to do that? Let me
That's
check your program." And they
crazy.
found a bunch
it's
of
funny
people.
because
So.
the same thing in college because these guys, they're not doing good in high school. What makes you think they're gonna do good in
I know,
college?
exactly.
My nephew went to Wake Forest to play football. He had an offer from Clemson.
Right.
Reason he didn't go to Clemson, he said, was because they recruit every criminal in South Carolina. You don't have to have the grades to get into Clemson. All you gotta do is be a good football player. And he wasn't. He was a
Good
student athlete.
Okay.
He's 4.0 high school
Good.
thing.
Good.
And he followed that up, got his degree at Wake and the whole nine. So he didn't want to go to just because he had a choice between Wake and Duke,
Mm-hmm.
two high
High
academic,
academic schools.
and Clemson
Right.
because he was first team all state in
Mhm.
South Carolina defensive
Mhm.
end. So then he got hurt and it didn't work out, but
Yeah.
still he got an education.
That's good though.
He didn't want to do Clemson because, like
Yeah.
you said, Clemson was anybody who could play. Come on in, we
Right.
got you here, full ride. Don't worry about
Mhm.
nothing.
That's like University of Miami.
Like Coach, like Dave said, here's the basket weaving class. Here's the art by numbers class. You know, whatever easy
Yeah.
class you could take, we're gonna put you in it. Phys ed.
Yep.
Yeah, you could be a phys ed
the
coach.
U has been doing that for years and stuff, man.
Well, again, it just cries back to the basketball side of it, where it's still a slippery slope. I'm thinking along the lines of what Todd was saying in the beginning, but then this morning he sort of changed his mind. If you have an opportunity to win something as opposed to anything, you could be showing the world, well, look, if we was given a proper chance to get in this NCAA tournament, we could have upset some of you guys.
Well, but I'm sure
But
he
it's-
spoke to the team and they came to the decision. Nah, we were gonna go in. Because
And-
I
and
don't
it-
think he made that decision straight on his own. He
And-
could have, but I don't believe he did.
And like you said, the championship, the NRT championship, back in the day when it was only 32 teams
Mhm.
in the NCAA, the automatic bids was the only one that get in. They
Right.
didn't have no at large. Playing in the NIT was a big
It
deal
was a big
because
deal.
you still part of
Right.
the next 16 who
Mhm.
probably would have been in the tournament.
Mhm.
But now you talking 68 teams that are in the what you call it. So whoever's left,
74 teams, I believe.
68.
68.
They wanted to
68.
go to 72.
They want to go higher, but it's
Right.
68.
And as you keep going higher, you're still going to be teams that's
There's
left out.
always gonna be
There's
somebody.
always going to be
There's always
somebody
gonna-
left
'cause you
out.
Which is
300
crazy.
whatever schools it is. So nobody, not everybody, unless they just go ahead and let everybody get in
Mhm.
and make the whole tournament for 2 months instead of 1 month.
Right.
And then you could do it. You could. It's not that
Right.
I mean, well,
And then that's like you gotta win 10 straight.
right. It's a lot. It's
Well,
a lot.
that's like teams being
Well, that's what they're doing in the tournament now. North Carolina State won 5 in a row to win
Right.
the
to
championship.
get in.
And if they win 6, that's 11 in a row. So what's the difference between that and just letting everybody play? What the hell?
Right.
Let's all get in on
Yeah.
it.
That's like in the bowl games in football, where you can have a team with a 500 record.
Right. All you need is
Getting in.
6 wins.
6 wins.
You don't need 500. You
Ain't
can be
that
6 and
crazy?
7.
Yeah.
As long as you got 6 wins.
Those
So-
be the Stella Doro pancake after whipped cream bowl.
But see, that's the whole. But that go to Dave's point. You could say, well, we won a bowl game.
Right.
You don't have to say which bowl game it was.
Right.
It doesn't have to be the CFP.
And the
it
school,
could be
the school
Stella
gets money
Doro
out of it, and the school gets money out of that bowl game.
or the Bahama Bowl.
Right.
Really? So
I-
the Bahama Bowl, I could see. If I was on a team, I'd want to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Give me a free trip to the Bahamas.
Yeah, you know that's right.
Or send me to Hawaii for Hawaii,
The
Bowl,
Hawaii,
whatever.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But don't send me to the middle of the country in the wintertime to play in a bowl game named after some cornflakes. Why?
Well, again, so
Keep doing this.
so again, John Green says way back in the beginning, the NIT was bigger than the NCAA tournament.
Right, it
So,
was.
Again, so
I wonder where it changed.
So again, when I went to the venue with the football, with the Springfield Eagles, you know, and it was an NFL player that spoke. I mean, you know, it is something when you do get an opportunity to compete for something, you know. So to me, I mean, you know, again, if most people think that they got shafted and, you know, he made a decision, but, you know, if you win something, you know, that's like a value memory
But-
that you won something. You competed at a high level and you won something.
But it's like Magnificent said. You go to one of these top kids in the country and you tell them, we won the NIT. And then the other
They
guy
probably
comes
never
in
heard of it.
and says, we played in the NCAAs. He's going to say, oh, you played in the NCAA. You had a chance to win the real championship. You played in the NIT and you was given a ring in Indianapolis, not even in New York City. If you were still playing the championship games at the Garden, it might make a difference. But now you, like he said, they're in Indianapolis. A couple of years ago, they was in Vegas. They just moving it around now. So it's like a clown show. It's not even a NIT anymore. Why even call it that?
Right.
Well,
You might as well call it the CBI,
I would again say
the other
that
tournament that they got.
they have tournaments and somebody's going to compete in it. And,
Oh, somebody's going to compete in
and
it.
somebody's
But,
going to win.
yeah.
And unfortunately, everybody doesn't get in the NCAA tournament. And again, they will probably expand it as y'all alluded to. As we move on from time to time, it'll keep growing. So now it's 68. Before it was 64. So it'll continue to expand. But the ironic part is that some people don't get in. So if you have the NIT and, you know, if you decline not to go, I mean, you know.
You got the NIT, you got the CBI, you got the CNIT or whatever the other one is. You got like 4 different tournaments. So you go to these tournaments, say you won it. Nobody cares because nobody even knows that you played.
True.
The whole focus is on the NCAA tournament. There is no focus on anything else.
Again,
You might watch one
somebody's
game.
gonna win. Somebody's gonna compete. They're gonna have somebody.
UConn won the
play
NCAA
in-
last year. Who won the NIT?
They're gonna have somebody playing it.
Who won it?
Rest assured.
Who played in it?
I don't
I
even
don't
know.
even
I
know.
don't know, but I'm telling you that somebody's gonna play.
Yo, of
Yeah,
course
somebody-
they're going to
of course-
play, Dave.
of course
But
teams
it's
are
a
gonna
matter
go.
of prestige. It's a matter of saying I won the NCAA.
Right.
You
And see-
winning the NIT, it has no pull anymore. It used to be like you said, you'd have your squad.
Mhm.
You didn't make the NCAA. You win the NIT. Now you got a new name on you,
Right.
and you can say, okay, next year we the
All right.
NIT champ.
And
Put us in the champ
Mhm.
in the.
So
what you
John
call it.
Green said, as he understands, it is coming back to MSG next year. So
Next year? Okay.
right. So again, I would think that it has to pick up some type of volume because everybody can't get in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but
No,
that's-
they'll always have the tournament. It's not like they won't have the tournament. They'll always have the tournament. But how prestigious is it? That's the point. Like
and
you
that's,
said,
mean,
that's
well,
a
you
team
can't
choice.
sell-
That's a team
Right.
choice if they
Again,
want to
so-
go in.
You know,
I get that, and I'm not arguing.
it ain't like it'll
I'm
be
not
shut down like they
arguing
won't
for
have the
them.
tournament.
Right.
For people, I can't find fault with people that don't want to participate.
But I don't know. That's the key thing. What you said. The guy Tom Crean, the ex-coach,
Right, yeah. He jumped on
he
it.
went crazy. If you seen
Right.
that this morning,
I saw that.
how
yeah.
disgusted he was that Patino didn't want St. John's to play, and he went irate practically
He did.
on TV.
Yeah, he
And
did.
it's like, yo, when you was a coach, you decided with your team to make it. That's your preference,
That's
like
your
you
preference.
said.
Yeah, that's
And if
their
another
choice.
coach says he doesn't want his team to play, you got to respect that.
Right.
He has his reason.
Well,
But he went irate.
He
well,
did. Like it
again,
was his
so
team.
Yeah.
it's also opportunity, and maybe some people might be coming off of St. John's, and they might be able to show their wear. It is a slippery
Right.
slope.
I don't
So-
know. I don't know about that one.
Ah,
Because I
Well,
don't
again,
I
there's
don't
only
see
one winner, so it's not so much that we decide on what's going on. Somebody's gonna win the NIT.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was last
But like
year.
Serge
but
said, can
somebody-
you remember? Because I can't
it-
remember who
it-
it was
well,
last
me
year.
either.
Well, again, if St. John's might have participated, maybe they could have said, "Well, hey, we wasn't invited here," So, how does that feel when you're not invited to one, and then somebody else extended
Right,
to
you
you
turn it
and
down.
whatnot, but you couldn't even get in the big one? So, some people say, "Well, yo, we playing for something,
Now I hear what you're saying.
and we
I hear what you're
qualified.
saying.
We qualified to be in the big dance."
Right.
As opposed to some teams. So where's the justice in that? Because again, some teams probably didn't need to be there.
Well, somebody else will take that spot. That's
See,
all.
okay, now the team that won last year, North Texas State,
Okay.
they're not even in the NIT this year, and they won it last year, and they definitely ain't in the NCAA
right.
tournament.
And they probably didn't
So, I mean-
qualify to be in neither one.
Well, yeah, I mean, some players could have left the team after that year. Who knows?
Exactly. Well,
Syracuse opted out too.
Syracuse opted out too.
Yeah.
What about Seton Hall? Did they accept?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they
they,
accepted.
okay.
They
they
accepted.
accept Syracuse, Providence, Villanova.
Okay.
it's good that somebody's there.
There's a bunch of named
There's
teams
a bunch
in
of
there.
names. There's always
They
going to be a
just
bunch
not
of names.
The ones that's
You
in
said
the
those
big
teams,
tournament.
Providence and them opted out. They didn't go.
No, they in.
Oh, they in.
Providence, Villanova, and
Syracuse opted
Seton
out.
Hall.
Oh, see, okay.
You said, yeah, you said Seton Hall.
Okay.
That is your team. I know you would know.
Syracuse opted out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know you would know.
I was disappointed, but
I mean, that's their
whatever.
choice.
Right.
Yeah.
But you get even now, and that is funny because you get that a lot every year with the NIT. The teams that who get invited in,
Right.
they opt out.
Especially the
That
ones that
goes on-
feel that they
that
should
feel
have
that
made
they
it.
should have made it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you get that a lot too there.
Or flip it and
Yeah.
say, well, how many teams opt out of going to the NCAA? Like, yo, we stink and we don't.
Oh, ain't
understand
nobody,
the
Ain't
ain't
game.
nobody
nobody.
doing that.
Right.
Ain't nobody doing that because that's what you.
Ain't nobody doing
That's
that.
what you play
Ain't
for.
nobody turning down millions of dollars to play in
Thank
the
you.
first round.
Yeah, ain't nobody doing that.
Yeah.
John Green said Oklahoma and Pitt declined NIT invitations also.
Yeah, a lot of teams do.
Bro,
Mhm.
A lot of
again,
I wonder when did they change that because like you said back in the day the NIT was the tournament.
teams. Yeah,
I wonder
If
when
you won
did
that
it
tournament,
change
you was
when
the
the
national
NCAA
champion.
started getting bigger.
I don't know if it was in the 50s or 60s. I know it was around that time.
was it?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Because I remember City College winning.
Mhm.
Didn't Southern
Both of 'em.
Illinois-
Right.
They used to
They-
be able
they
to
won
play in
too.
both of them.
When,
Right.
when Walt Frazier played, didn't they win the NIT one
Yeah,
year?
he won the
Right.
NIT.
They did win the NIT. We went to
That was in the 50s.
No, that was the 60s.
that
But
was in
still,
the 60s. He came out.
the NIT was prominent even into the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
it
it
was still
was.
prominent.
Yeah, it was.
It was when they expanded to 64 teams that they started killing the NIT.
Right.
Well, all right, y'all. We in the first half hour. It's first stop to the next stop. Like and subscribe. We on Facebook, YouTube, Dave Wilson page. The phone lines is open 516-206-0711. It's first stop to the next stop. Super Dave, Coach Kurt, Serge the Sports Star, Todd the Magnificent, and Slick the Relic, the living
Some fossil we found somewhere. I'm about to throw them in the garbage.
Some footprint. Some
Right.
footprint. we saw.
All right, y'all. What's the next stop? Let's talk some NBA. Should we keep the doors open and say who are the top 4 teams, or who do y'all like? You know, is it a shoe-in that
I don't even got a
UConn going back?
I've watched some college.
They're in the hardest division.
Who?
UConn. They put them in the hardest division.
No, we
Yeah.
got holding lights. Okay, go ahead.
Y'all want to talk about the bracket with the women? Because I didn't get a chance to look it over that much with the women's brackets out there.
Usually with the women, usually at the time, who's ever like in the top 4 usually make the final 4, or either definitely like the top 2.
Right.
Very rarely do you get a real big upset in the women, like the men.
Right.
Right.
The men you get big upset.
You get upset.
The women usually don't. It plays the form usually.
Right.
But if that 4 that's in there
Mhm.
reaches the final 4, that's going to be a great final 4 in the women.
Well, it's
Right,
not going to
good.
be that way because LSU and Iowa was in the same bracket.
They're going to have to meet, right?
They're going to have to meet. And they
wanted
said
that.
that if they
Yeah,
win
you
all the
still-
game, they might meet in the
Who are
final.
the 4? The 4: South Carolina, Iowa,
USC.
USC.
Iowa.
Tennessee? Not Tennessee.
No, not Tennessee. No, it's not UConn either.
It's not USC.
It's USC,
USC,
Iowa,
Iowa,
South Carolina.
South
I can't remember who
Carolina.
the 4th was. I thought it was Stanford, but it's not Stanford. I don't think.
I'm trying,
Top 4 women.
trying to think off the.
in-
It's not
I seen
UConn.
it today. What? And then UConn, you know?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas. There you go. That's right.
Isn't that? Don't they have the Texas and the men also as the top 4?
No,
No, not Texas.
Houston.
No.
Oh,
Houston.
Houston. Right.
Who
Same
was up
state,
there? Yeah.
different college.
Okay, close call. Thank you.
Yeah, close enough.
Mm.
Yeah, but like
And they got blown
like
out there last
Magnificent
game.
said, usually
If
you're
that-
gonna get at least 3 out of the top 4
yeah, the
number
women's,
ones are gonna
usually you
make,
get that.
and then you might get a 3 or maybe a 4,
Mm.
but it doesn't,
It doesn't
usually
go
go
down,
further
right.
than that because they don't. Women's game is top heavy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As far as the men's game, it's getting almost like football where anybody could beat anybody on any given
That's
day.
true.
Right. Talent all over
For the
place,
most
right.
part,
Yeah.
you still got teams that are going to be a little more superior
Mhm.
than other teams, like the Reason Howard and the other SWAC team.
Right.
are in
I mean,
the
is it Grambling?
first 4,
I think it's Grambling.
yeah, Grambling and Howard
Right.
on the first 4 day, along
Right.
with those 3 Mountain West teams. 'Cause
Mhm.
these are the teams that are considered the weakest teams.
Weakest team, right.
So they just barely got in. And they usually, every once in a while, you get one of them to make a little noise.
Right.
Like
St. Peter's. Lit.
yeah, St. Peter's.
St.
And what was the other one? With
They made it back.
the,
Yeah, they did.
with that guy
Um,
Quinn. Oh, Quinn.
I know who you're talking about.
He played on one of those small black colleges, and they won a game, and then
Right.
they got to the second round, and they lost the
Mhm.
second round, but they won the first round game. You get that.
Yeah.
But you,
Yeah.
for the most part, it doesn't get much farther than that. I mean, usually it's a 5 or a 6 that might make it.
Was that
but
Virginia
even with
Union?
The men's,
Or
was it
Virginia something. O'Quinn was on that
yeah, he
team.
was on, yeah, Kyle
Yeah.
O'Quinn.
Yeah. New York
Yeah.
boy. New York boy.
Yeah, he played for the Knicks for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy will come in, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew his cousin. Their
Okay.
cousins lived around my
Yeah.
way.
But you're right,
But,
Serge, with that. Yeah, usually the women
Mhm. Cousin lived around my way.
Yeah,
usually
they
stay.
top heavy.
Yeah.
And another thing, it's so funny if you think about it. I heard this on a podcast too. When you think about this year in the college basketball, the women was more prominent or more, exciting than the
Yeah.
men's this year.
Right.
Because I was listening to Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. And he was like, you could name 4 or 5 women off your hand in the college basketball right now who's good. You can't name one guy. They was like, yo, name one guy. And they was like, you're absolutely right. Who's prominent in the men like right now?
There's not really no
They-
star
No.
guy.
No,
this year.
No.
no,
There's
in the
not
men.
really no star
The
guy
women,
this
the
year.
women came and took over.
Right.
Okay, we got
You-
the freeze, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
They
yeah.
said you can name off the
Wait,
top.
wait,
The women like boom,
Right.
boom, 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 boom.
Excuse me. We
Mhm.
gotta go to commercial break.
Oh, check this out, man.
All right. You supposed to walk in with it on.
He got a
Come on in.
wristband.
Come on in.
Let me
He
get
got a
together.
wristband.
Yo, let me ask y'all a
Is that
question.
allowed?
Yeah, I don't know.
He
Let me
can,
ask you.
sit, he can sit right there with the relic.
Is that allowed?
I'm gonna go.
You
Yeah,
gotta-
yo, yeah.
Is that allowed?
That seat,
Like,
that seat don't even exist today.
you know?
Yo, let me ask you. the biggest upset you've seen in college, in the NCAA tournament
In history?
that you ever seen, that you think would be the biggest upset that you've seen?
Ooh, there's a couple.
Well, tell me, everybody think of one and present it.
What Villanova beat? Right.
That was a real big one.
All
Yeah.
right.
That was a real big one.
All rise.
Oh
That
my
was a real
goodness,
big one.
man.
All right, so step in front of the camera. Show the world. Show the world you have. All right.
Come down,
All
right
that
there.
camera.
There you go.
Now be careful. Step
There
careful.
you go. You good.
All right.
You can't hide your face. You can't hide your face.
John Green also said Villanova, Georgetown.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
didn't think that was a big. I mean,
Let's
I wanted
welcome-
Georgetown to win, but
Yeah, please, absolutely.
Yo, rookie, stay in your place.
I don't understand this rookie guy, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah,
Good to
how's
see
he
you
making?
always.
How's he making suggestions, man? This guy's been here all of 3 weeks.
Yo,
and he's telling people where
he's
to
still
sit
on
at.
probation. I
We
don't
can tune him
understand.
we can tune him out. Yo, turn that volume down on him, man. We got
What's everything? 2 wristbands.
You know?
He's supposed to be in full regalia.
No, you said anything.
No, we ain't say anything. Did nobody say anything? I would have took a hat to the wristbands and shit, man.
He did look, Serge. Serge, he didn't go to Fanatics. He didn't see. You see what I'm saying? Because he would have got the hat.
He's back at Swindles
Yeah.
or whatever the name of that place is that he went to with the bootleg hats.
Big it to you, big it to
Bootleg
you.
hats.
Where you get those from, man? Where you get those from?
Models.
Amazon
And they
had
ain't
a
even
great
around
deal.
it.
I just want to put it out there. Amazon had a great deal. Keeping the rappers so they can go back.
You stupid.
I got a new shirt so it can stick out that I do have on. KC
All right, so
That was great. How you doing,
Yes,
brother?
sir.
Anybody come out with, well, you said y'all said the Villanova Georgetown
Villanova,
championship game?
Georgetown.
I
What do
didn't
you-
think that was a big upset, man.
well,
I mean,
you
again,
didn't think
John
that was a
Green
big-
just said, but no team shot 80% from the field like
that's true.
that.
That's true.
And
Well, you
and
you know-
Georgetown was favored to win.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were.
I knew that. Yeah.
what is it? Maryland, Baltimore County when they beat Virginia, and Virginia was the number one overall team in
They
the,
got beat in the first round.
in the
Didn't they?
Yes.
first round.
First round. I give
Yeah.
it
For
another
the
one.
championship game. I mean, okay.
Yeah, but Villanova was a Final Four team. It
Right.
wasn't like they was a scrub team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They were.
That was an upset only because they shot the way they shot, but not because they wasn't ready to play with them.
Well, how
They
many
played them-
teams, like how many of them guys went to the pros from Villanova?
And Pickney.
Pickney.
And Pickney did.
Yeah, how
And
was
what's
the
his
team?
name?
They played.
Did
McClain?
You know.
the other McClain? There was two
But
McClains on
you
the
can
team.
say the same thing
Hal
about
Cosby?
Baltimore, Maryland County. None of them guys
None
went
of
to the
those
pros,
guys. Right.
and they beat guys who went from Virginia to the pros.
Right.
Understood.
They had Gary McClain and I
Not a
forgot
lot
Dwayne
of,
McClain.
not a lot of, even if you take,
Yeah,
like you
That's
take
the
them
other thing.
Georgetown teams.
that was the other
Princeton.
thing. It was
When they
before-
lost to
It
Princeton.
was before the shot clock
But
game.
even with that, a lot of those guys ain't make the
Yeah.
pros either.
Nope.
It's basketball is different. It's different. A lot of them guys be
Yeah.
good in basketball.
Right, you
good
gotta,
in
you gotta
college,
realize,
but
like
they
he
not
said,
pro
and that's a
material.
good point. They played
They're not pro
during a
material.
time when there was no shot clock,
Right.
Right.
so
All
they
right,
was
and-
able to hold the ball.
And John
Mm-hmm.
Green said a close second, and I agree with you, North Carolina State and Houston.
That was a good upset. That was an
That was,
upset.
that was a week. That was a year before, wasn't it? 2 years before.
Can't
It was
remember.
close by.
It was around
It was
that time.
close.
It was in that
Yeah.
area.
It was in the
It was
era,
close by.
In that area, yeah.
but yeah, that was an upset
That's
too.
why I drafted
What you would say?
Olajuwon.
What you would say?
I was gonna say Georgetown and Princeton.
Oh,
I was gonna
Yeah, that
say
was a big
Georgetown,
one.
Oh,
Princeton.
we ain't talking about just championship. We talking about
anytime,
Any game.
any game.
Anything in the tournament.
Yeah, it was
Anything in the tournament.
Yeah. That was a
Well,
big
I would
upset.
agree with John Green. I like the Villanova Georgetown because it sort of remind me of how in the football, just going back to football this year,
Mm.
I thought the Ravens was acting like they thought they were supposed to be there, but they didn't. They didn't play a complete game. They was acting like they was supposed to win, but they didn't show it on the field. And then I think Georgetown had that same type of attitude, like we were supposed to win the national championship. and
Not,
they didn't.
yeah, that's true.
Syracuse played Coppin State. Was it Coppin State?
They beat somebody one time.
They lost.
I know Copper State. Yeah, Copper State did beat
Ranked
somebody.
201.
Something like that.
It was
I
like
think
the
they beat
first
some. I remember them
15
beating
seasons.
somebody.
And not to throw no
fine.
shade on that Houston team, but NC State.
They got murdered this over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, they-
I'm talking
no,
Oh,
about-
you talking?
You talking about back then?
1983.
No, I thought I'm talking about the basketball
Oh, they
game.
got
They said,
destroyed,
yeah,
yeah.
they got, and they supposed to be, they got murdered, man.
Who's
Well,
that?
I-
Iowa State's a
Houston.
good defensive team.
Oh,
too.
Houston.
Yeah.
They got murdered. the
Iowa
other day.
State's a good defensive team.
Yeah. Oh,
Houston
boy.
offense is up and down.
Right,
sometimes.
that's their problem.
That's
So-
they gonna-
They're not consistent enough
Yeah.
on offense.
I mean, and when you just think about it, though, like if I'm talking about that,
Nah, you would have thought what you said. Everybody thought Houston was gonna blow out NC
Right.
State.
right,
Everybody
Clyde
thought that.
Drexler,
Yeah, everybody thought
Kim
that.
Olajuwon, you know,
They couldn't make free
once
throws.
again, that's another. It's a different era because they didn't have a shot clock. If they
Right.
play those same games
Right.
now with them same teams,
Right.
they lose
Yeah.
Well,
because
they-
you can't hold the ball
You
for
can't hold
3
the ball.
minutes.
Right.
Right.
And but they couldn't make free throws either. And what's the name?
Yeah, but if you got to shoot the ball within 30 seconds, you're gonna have a lot more
you,
opportunities.
you will.
So
You will.
it's like when
It'll be hard to
North
beat them with
Carolina
that.
used to run the four corners,
Right.
and they hold the ball for 18 minutes out of
18
20
minutes.
minutes in the
boxing
first
one,
half.
right?
And Phil Ford would just run around
Run
like
circles around
Curly
everybody,
Neal
right.
on the Harlem Globetrotters, just dribbling.
Yeah.
I did like Phil Ford too.
I loved him. That was
Great college player. One of the
Right.
greatest college players
No
ever
doubt.
played the game,
It didn't
but
do
couldn't
nothing.
do nothing in the pro.
Nothing in the pro.
He's
Yeah.
one of the
Great
reasons why I
college player,
even
though.
became a North Carolina
Yeah.
fan.
Oh,
Him and
everybody
Charlie
loved
Scott.
Phil Ford.
Charlie
Yeah.
Scott. Wow. Yeah.
Charlie Scott was
I
the
was
reason
looking
I
at-
became a North Carolina
I
fan.
was looking at something today and came on my phone showing Len Bias.
Mm.
And I was like, oh
Incredible
my
player.
God, if we missed out on something
Yes,
spectacular.
special.
No, he was special.
He was special.
We missed out on something.
Yes.
Yo, this guy's
Yeah.
game was incredible.
Very likely would have been in the GOAT conversation.
Oh, without
Mhm.
They
question.
looked at him like he was
Without
better than
question.
Michael
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They
without
said he
question.
gave Michael the business.
Yeah, he gave Michael the business. They came up together. He gave
Mhm.
Michael the business. His game was incredible.
And that's what killed Boston because right before
Reggie
he
Lewis?
died, they would have still been that legacy.
Oh, that
was
legacy
there.
would have
Kept
continued
going.
on.
Yeah.
But once he died,
Right.
they fell off.
They
until-
fell off. It took them
Right,
like
because
10
Bird
years.
had
right.
Bird had the back problems
Right.
and
Yeah.
everything.
It took
like
them
that.
like 10 years to recover.
Right. And then because
Yeah.
Reggie Lewis died too.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Could
took-
you
it took
imagine
them-
the two of them together?
Oh,
They
man.
would have been running things.
Wow.
Incredible.
Oh, John Green said there's another upset that didn't take place.
Sean
in the
Manoa.
tournament.
Wow.
Chaminade beat Virginia. I remember that.
I forgot. Virginia had some.
16.
Was that
I
with
remember.
Ralph
Ralph
Sampson?
Sampson,
Right.
yes. Yes.
Yo, you
I
know-
remember.
I don't remember. that.
Wasn't that in the Maui tournament though?
I know that. Well, Sean is always in.
No,
the
I think that
Maui
was in the
tournament. That was
was
in.
it in
That
the
was in
Maui?
the in the
Yeah,
tournament.
because Chaminade is not a Division I school.
They
it
not?
could have been.
No, they're not.
It
No.
could have been. It could have been.
But
I
they
think
was
that was
supposed to win.
Maui.
It
well,
could have been.
just playing a Division I team.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
He's-
No, that's a huge offer because Ralph Sampson was on that.
Yeah,
team,
he
Right.
was on that team.
I vaguely remember that.
and they was number one,
Every year. They
Mhm.
was number one when he was practically there.
Right.
Every year.
and they never did nothing.
Nope.
They barely won it.
I look at him,
Barely
I look
won the
at him.
ACC tournament one year.
Mhm.
Barely.
How Ralph Sampson was, and he was another one. I mean, if he didn't have no knee problems, who would have known how good? And I look at the kid Wemby now, and who you think looks like he would be better than him in the pros.
Who are
But
Ralph
Ralph Sampson
Sampson?
against Wemby.
I remember when they were playing
know.
against Georgetown, and I went by my boys. There was a bunch of us at the
Charmaine
house,
is
and so we could
Division
watch them
III.
play against
Right.
each other, man.
Surge.
Right.
Oh, that was
Yeah, those were good.
Those-
games.
Patrick battling Sampson in
Yes.
college.
But
Yes.
he never turned out to be that pro either.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
wasn't-
He had knee problems.
yeah. Well, he got with Elijah
Yeah,
Wan was
yeah.
there.
There's
And the
a few
frame
big
was
guys like
fragile.
Sam Bowie.
Yes.
Sam Bowie was
Bowie.
another guy who
Yeah.
didn't get to be what he was going to be because
Right.
of his knees. And Greg Oden is the biggest example.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny?
But Ralph had
Like
talent.
those
You could see the
games-
talent.
Even though 'cause we couldn't see all the games, but those games, I guess they were titans of the game. You know, the big men that were good.
Yeah, back then that's when
You
you
know,
started with the
Elijah
best
going
big man.
against Ewing, Samson,
David Robinson.
Although David Robinson didn't get to play against those guys that
No.
much.
Yeah, he was in the military.
You know, he was like,
Yeah.
but who else I'm missing?
Young Ming was a
NBA, he
good
was
player.
there.
Huh?
Young Ming. was
But
a
he
good
didn't
player.
play in
Matter
college.
of
No, he
fact,
didn't play in
He didn't
college.
play.
matter of fact, that's an
Pros,
upset.
he had
They
bad
beat
feet.
Syracuse game.
Right. I forgot about
remember
that.
one.
Right. Or what's his name?
Well, you can't say that's a Syracuse.
or
David
Walton
Robinson was
against,
playing.
Keith Lee and
David-
stuff like that.
David Robinson was all world though. You crazy?
Bill Walton.
You crazy.
Against
That
Keith
wasn't
Lee.
an
and
upset.
Keith Lee was the man.
Memphis
Yeah,
State.
Memphis
Memphis
State.
State.
Keith Lee.
Keith
Yeah.
Lee was the man. He
Yeah.
didn't do nothing in the
Bill
pro.
Bro,
Bill
but he
Walton
killed him
hit
in college.
21 out of
Oh, my
22 shots
Yeah.
on him.
He killed him in college
Bill,
though.
he killed him.
Keith Lee.
Bank shot after bank shot.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
Easy.
He's like he played against
He was
nobody.
playing by
man.
himself. Right.
I tell you, one of the greatest games I've seen college was Louisville against Houston. One of the greatest games I've seen. Oh, they were going at it, man. You had Billy Thompson and what's his name? What was the
Milt
Milt
Wagner.
Wagner. They were going back and forth, banging it on each other, man. Oh my God.
When did Syracuse beat somebody back then too? With was it Sherman Douglas? I don't know if they won the national.
Oh, they did good. Yeah, with Sherman Douglas and
Did
Jerry Coleman.
Sherman Douglas play with no?
Or was it?
They
Keith
only won the one
With
Yeah,
Carmelo.
with Carmelo, right?
But they had good runs.
They
when
had a
Sherman went
chance.
in.
They
Yeah.
had a run against Kentucky.
What's the guy that made this? No, I'm thinking of
Right.
Indiana.
And they
Smart.
lost
That
to
was
Indiana. They
Against-
lost to
against
Indiana
Syracuse,
in,
yeah, they
in the
lost.
championship
Keith
game.
Smart hit that shot.
Smart.
Indiana.
It was against. That's right. It was against. It was Derek Coleman, right?
Yeah.
Billy
Right.
Owens and all of them.
Billy Owens wasn't there.
He was gone already.
No, he wasn't there.
I
Oh, he
think
wasn't
Sherman
there yet?
Douglas was there.
It was Sherm,
And Derek Coleman.
Sherm, Greg
Wendell
Monroe,
Alexel.
Sherm, Greg Monroe, Howard Trish, Cycli, and
Howard.
Coleman.
Okay.
That was the early '90s, right?
No, that was 80,
in
87.
late '80s.
That was right after Pearl left. Pearl left, and then they went to the championship.
Sherman Douglas was a good guard
Yes,
too.
he
He
was.
get overlooked.
Yes, he was.
I tell you,
But
guards.
he didn't look like a ball player.
Right.
But
Sherman
he did-
Douglas.
Douglas was good.
What's the name? What's the guy that was at BC? John
Bagley.
Bagley.
John Bagley.
John Bagley. And
Yeah,
what's his
okay.
name? Because he was there too.
Michael Adams?
Michael Adams.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a great.
They,
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 were little.
they had that. They had
Thank
that
you,
body,
John
man.
Green,
They was
1987. That's
Yeah.
correct.
They was little.
Yeah.
But them guys could rock.
They could
Right.
They
Right.
could go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of them dudes, I think he freaked the whole national audience out. He went behind the back.
They
and-
could go.
John Bagley used to rock you, boy.
John
He
Bagley,
used to
yo,
rock
he had
you.
that.
He had that body,
His
that lower
body
body.
be going one way and the ball
Yeah.
going
He could
the
rock
other
you.
All right, let's talk about the top 4 colleges, men's
way.
college.
Right now,
Right. Who?
Houston's
Who's the
number
top
one.
4?
UConn.
One.
UConn.
North Carolina's still up there.
Yeah.
And what? Purdue's the other one.
Purdue's the other one.
Purdue gonna get bounced.
Yeah, they getting
Yeah, they
bounced.
gonna-
North
they gonna
Carolina
do
getting
every
bounced
year.
too.
They gonna get bounced.
I don't know about North Carolina getting bounced. They got.
I know you a fan, and I'm a
No,
fan too.
I'm
And I'm a fan
tell you
too.
what it depends on.
I'm a fan too. But listen,
It's
I
not about
see.
being a fan. It depends on
No.
one thing.
Go ahead.
Playing?
If Cormac Ryan can hit some threes,
Right.
they can win.
If they depend on Davis to win the game for them, though, he got to play against everybody because that guy couldn't hit nothing
I
yesterday.
know.
You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
had a-
So
he had an off
everything's
game.
on Davis. They're not gonna win.
And that's
I can
what
tell you that right now.
I was what? Didn't what's the name? The guy that was on North Carolina that left. What's his name? Love.
Yeah.
He went to Kansas.
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Okay, Arizona.
They might play them in the
Yeah.
Elite Eight if they both get
What was
there.
his name?
'cause they 1 and 2
Caleb
in the-
Love. That was his
Yeah.
name.
Caleb
Caleb
Love.
Love.
Caleb Love.
But
He
they
hasn't done
thing
nothing
is,
since that year. He should have went out after that year. 'Cause he never
Baycott
had
is
done-
going to give you a good game. Davis will normally give you a good game. If you could get Ingram or Ryan to also give you a good game,
They need that kid.
and all they need
the
is
kid
one of
Ryan.
the two
Right.
to
Yeah.
have a good game. Because Ingram, he's kind of spotty sometimes.
Mhm.
One night he'll give you 20, and the next night he won't give you nothing. But the thing about him is he plays defense.
Okay.
So
okay.
he helps out anyway,
Right.
even though he's not scoring. But they really do need one of them two guys to give you at least, I would say, 15 to 18 points, and then they could be right there with anybody because they
Right.
got a good team.
Yeah.
That kid Cadeau, he's a good point guard. I like Trimble, he play hard.
Mm.
They got players. Washington comes off the bench and gives them minutes. They're not a bad team.
They're not
They
a bad
got
team,
good
but
team.
I just think they rely on Davis too much to put it for scoring.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He got
They
it for.
rely on him too much.
Yeah.
You know,
All right. So
Kinda
do
hard.
y'all give UConn
I do.
a shot.
most,
sure.
right?
I do.
It's going to be tough. They got the hardest way to go.
They do got a hard way.
They
to
got
go,
a hard
but
way to go, but
I think
you
he's
know,
one. I think Winston Hurley
got
is
a
one of the
team,
better
though.
coaches, even though
Yeah.
like Serge don't like him, but
he's a good coach.
he's a good coach, man.
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
He's a
See,
good
the
coach.
thing about this is that
I
you
think
know,
he's got 3
everybody's one and
Ks
done.
across the top of his hat, but
Damn.
Not everybody's one and done. All it takes is that night where
Somebody
everything
playing
go
flat.
up, go
Right.
in.
Yeah, but those guys
Well,
played
yeah.
last year.
No,
Those-
I understand.
from UConn. Those guys played last
No,
year.
Right. I understand that, but this is what I'm saying. Like with the Carolinas and
Right.
Well, it's like that every year. That's how it is. It take
Yeah.
one night, any night, anybody could win any night. If
Yeah.
somebody's hot,
Somebody
that's
hot,
how it
they
could
coming
be.
in
We
cold.
always get a team like that in the tournament.
True.
And if the referee
That
keep
run.
a whistle out his mouth,
You know,
he
that
can
ain't
bench
happen.
the right player.
We could
and
do a whole,
that can alter your game.
we could do a whole segment on refs. They
Yeah.
horrible.
I mean, are they in college? Are they as
I think it's
horrible
worse
as
in
they
the
are
pros than it is in the
'Cause
college.
No, pros is the worst.
It's worse.
They can
The
bench the
pros
right
are
player,
worse.
and that can alter the game.
I
Right.
just don't like. I hate like you playing the game, and you know, in the games like when you get the games like this, and the guys are playing, you
Mhm.
letting them play, and then at the end you want to call a ticky tack.
That ticky tack. I can't stand
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
man.
Come on, man. The whole game we battling.
I'm trying to
then
get
now
a
the game's
rhythm
getting
on how
close.
you
Right. This is
ref
how
in the
you
game.
rep. And now the game's getting
Right.
close, and now you calling a ticky tack foul. You can't do that. And they do that.
What do you
They
think
do
of that guy from NC State? The big guy. They say he's
Tractor
6'9".
trailer.
I don't think he's 6'9". but
Tractor trailer.
He-
Yeah.
I like how he
Name
plays.
DJ Burns.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have for a big guy. He know what he can do and he know what he can't do.
Right.
And what he could do, he does it well.
Mhm.
He does it well. You know what I mean? He know how to use his body,
Yeah.
and he does it well.
Because I'm looking him up.
No.
I said, he ain't no 6'9". I'm looking at him. I said, this dude don't look 6'9".
6'5".
Well, what,
He
they
may be
looking
a little
at him.
taller than
They
that.
looking at him this way and that way.
Man, maybe so.
I'm telling you,
He's a big
The
boy.
guys
Though.
are bouncing off of him.
Yeah,
like,
he's a big
he
boy.
backing them down.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
He
you
know how to use his
and
body.
he can pass.
Yes, he can.
He can pass. out
Yes,
the
he
block.
can. Yes,
And
he
I was
can.
like, oh,
I like this game. I was watching him. I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
he's a clone of Tractor Trailer.
Yeah.
Attractive,
Because of how Tractor Trailer was.
Tractor
Yeah.
trailer. Wow, he didn't do nothing in the pros.
No, but
Killed
he
him
was
in college,
He was
though.
tough in college.
Killed him in college though.
He
He's
was the
bigger than
Michigan,
everything.
right?
Yeah.
Michigan State.
No, Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah. he
Oh,
went to
Michigan. Right, right.
So I think
Right,
they
right.
took the whole lights off us, yo. So what's the next stop?
Oh, before.
Oh, they holding us again?
Yeah.
Somebody foot stuck in the door.
Yeah.
All right,
I
what's
was
going on?
listening. I was listening to on the radio coming over, and they were interviewing Jerry Stackhouse. You know, he got fired.
Right.
Right.
So they were talking about how Vanderbilt is hard to get any play, especially in the SEC,
Recruiter.
and it's a good school. So, like, if you
Right.
ain't got the grades,
Right.
you ain't
It's a hard
getting,
school to get
you ain't
into.
getting up
Right.
in there.
Right.
You know, they ain't just bringing any
Right,
old
no.
soul off
It's
the bench
it's an
in there.
academic school.
Right. So he was talking about, he said, we had a decent run. I was appreciative of it. He said they had made some comments. Oh, look at the black guy with the suits on. He said, didn't nobody know why I wear suits
I
all
heard
the
that.
time.
I heard
Yeah.
that today while he read.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
he was
can say,
saying-
but you can
All
tell
right.
him.
All right, caller Matt, what's going on? Talk to us.
What's good, fam, man?
Hey, Matt.
Yo,
What's going on, family? How's everybody up there?
All
All right,
is well, my brother.
Could you see us? Could you see us?
Well, I can't see y'all because I'm actually visiting my niece in the hospital, so I'm just on the phone. I'm not on Facebook. I'm just on my phone, but I've been listening.
Okay.
I can't see you.
Cause I was gonna.
Nah.
Well,
we got Green up in here.
I was gonna tell Green
Oh,
to
hey,
hold up his badge.
Mr.
Go
we're
to
good.
YouTube and look on YouTube.
What's good, fam? Listen. I love the dialogue going on up there as always. I'm mad that I wasn't able to chime in last week. The last 2 weeks, I guess something was wrong with your phones, right?
Listen,
Yeah.
we good
got that-
money. Let's talk about today.
They ain't paid the phone bill.
Yeah, see. All right, look,
Welcome
I got an
back.
axe to grind.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to get something off my chest.
Grind it.
Right?
It.
Well, yeah. I just want to get something off my chest with this NCAA tournament, right? Now, I go way, way back. I know a few of you go just as far as I do.
Excuse me.
19
Never mind all that. How far back do you go?
I'm going to go
that far.
7980.
Bring me with you.
Look, 7980.
Woo.
I remember going to, I
don't
think,
remember.
Cardinal Hayes, one of the Catholic schools, to go see a friend of a friend related to Jimmy Black. Right?
Okay.
He's going to Cardinals Hayes. We went to go see his game. And then they told me next year he was going to North Carolina.
Right.
This is how I became a North Carolina Tar Heels fan.
Okay.
Right? Went to that game, had a great time and everything.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting to college football because the year before that, I was watching LA and Boston, the rivalry and all that. So college basketball since that year was great. When Jordan and them came, I think Worthy was on that team, Sam Perkins.
Yeah.
I think Sam Perkins was from Long Island, upstate, Long
Yeah.
Island.
Matt
They had
Matt
another
Doherty,
cat
Matt
named
Doherty.
Matt
Doherty.
Doherty was from Long Island. Perkins,
Doherty
I
was
think,
from
was
Long
a
Island,
little
right.
upstate.
Dallas?
And then when Jordan and them came on that team, it was on with the rivalry and the love that I have for college basketball all through the 80s, the Big East and the rivalries. I don't know what happened to college basketball today. This tournament, I don't know the players. It's just, I don't know who can even pick a champion. Everybody's saying UConn, but there's so many watered down teams. I don't know if that's a good thing for college basketball, but it just doesn't feel the same. This tournament doesn't feel the same at all to me.
Well, it's just not really big stars coming out.
Yeah, well, back in those days, those times when you mentioned, nobody was doing one and done.
Right.
People were staying there, staying in school.
Right.
Now,
I remember
go ahead.
Real quick, the one and done thing to me started when I think a kid from St. John's wanted to go too fast. He was the point guard of St. John's in, I think, maybe 98. Omar Cook.
Omar Cook.
And his career was destroyed because they pushed him into the league. If he'd have stayed another year or two,
he would have made it.
It would have made a huge difference.
Yes, he would have. He would have made it. I don't know who told him he was a one and done guy.
To get into the NBA, and the only talent that really came back in that time was, I think, LeBron in 2003. He was the only, everybody was trying to get to the league by skipping college. And I think it was a lawsuit that they wouldn't let the college NBA players in, but it's just watered down. They should go with like how the NFL doing 2 or 3 years of college. It's controversial, but it's just watering down the college game anymore. There's no interest there.
Well, money's running.
Well, this is one of the main, I don't want to say problems, but the issue that they fighting. You want me to wait 2 years or 3 years to go pro, but you could send me to the army at 18, 17 years old. And I could go fight and give up my life, but I can't earn money. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
That's a valid point.
That's why they changed it. Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's one of the things what people were fighting for.
How about the drinking age? The drinking age is 21. Right. You can fight in the military, but you're not able to drink until you're 21.
Well, so
is that comparing apple to oranges?
Not really, because that's a whole different thing. There's a lot of people who don't drink. You might say there's a lot of people who do drink, but you got a whole lot of people who don't drink.
Right.
That's not the same thing as making money.
Man, I got
and giving up my life. So I can't compare the two of drinking and giving up my life.
Our guest John Green has a question for you, sir. Go ahead.
John Green.
Anthony Green.
Anthony Green.
I'm sorry,
they starting to all look alike.
Look at them. I'm sorry. Our Kansas City Chiefs guest resident has a question.
Are you against,
sorry, John.
Are you against anybody coming straight out of high school going straight to the pros in basketball or in football? If he's a great player, if he's nice enough.
He's nice.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. I'm not against anybody going. If you have the talent, the problem is that these kids think they have the talent to go and make it in the NBA, and it destroyed college basketball. So I'm not against it. No.
What does his talent have to do with college basketball?
You can't,
because you have had a lot of.
One thing you can't say, you can't compare the two sports.
No.
You can say basketball, football. Your body's not developed.
Yeah, you're not ready for
them
football.
guys.
All right, so
that's out the question.
You can say basketball, but not football.
Let's just say basketball, as he say, because your body can be ready for basketball. Because you have had some great basketball players come straight out of high school,
and there's a lot more that didn't make it.
Right?
There's a lot more that did. There's
the
double or triple who didn't make it.
So are you against?
Kwame Brown?
Who?
Yes,
he played all.
I'm not against it. I'm not to answer your question, Ant Green. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. But the problem is, there's only like 300 jobs in basketball, so the talent pool is very small. People run into to go to the NBA straight out of high school. I mean, it's just minuscule.
Yeah,
LeBron James was the last real talent.
I want to answer that.
Right.
You've seen that commercial, right? That college commercial where they talk about all the schools and everything that they do in college. It's not just sports. Right. Everybody go pro at other things. Not everybody that goes to college and even if they stay in college for 4 years is going pro.
True.
It's not everybody's not going to make that. You understand what I'm saying? So if you got a kid who got that talent at 18 coming out of high school and he could go pro, don't fault him that he could do that and say what he's doing with college because he didn't go to college. He ain't got to go to college. They got other kids that could come who could play and the program could be good, and those guys will stay there for 4 years and ain't going pro anyway. So if he got a chance, if he's that exceptional and he could go pro, You can't fault them for doing that.
Well,
Well,
I
they
know
don't
what I
let,
mean?
you, they don't let you go straight pro anymore. Anyway,
No.
you gotta do 1 year.
Well, you got to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
one, yeah. But I'm just.
But
right.
let me just say this: the problem with college basketball is not so much the one and dones as it is the transfer portal.
Right.
There's a kid who's playing on his 4th college team. He's been in the college game for 7 years. They just went to court and they said he could play for the 4th college team.
Yeah.
That's why you can't follow basketball
Right.
anymore, because year to year the team is
It's
not the same,
moving
and it's
around.
not the one and dones. It's everybody who don't get a chance to play. They run into another school, and if they don't play
Correct.
at that school, they run into another
Right.
school.
You don't have to wait out a year no more.
And how did that come about?
Because
sir, how did that
you
come
used
about,
to,
sir?
because when you used
Coaches-
to when you used to
coaches
play
were staying in-
and you transferred, you had to sit out a year.
Right.
Now you don't
Right.
have to sit out. Yeah, now you don't have to
Right.
sit out a year anymore. So
But
people
I think-
transferring all over the place.
But the reason
I
for
think
that
the
is
portal was
because
there because there was coaches staying at certain
Exactly.
school for certain years. That coach would recruit you, and then he'd be gone.
right,
Right.
The
that's
year
why
that you
they
want to come
changed
in.
that.
Right.
That's not fair
Because
to the
if the
kids
coaches
either.
could
No,
do
you're
it,
right
all
about
players
that.
could do
Right,
it.
you're not about that. You're right about that.
Right, I'm recruiting you.
Right, and then you leave when I get
And
that.
right, when you
I
get
shouldn't
there,
have it.
I'm out.
Right,
I'm
so I
going
shouldn't
to
have to
school
stay
for
there.
you,
What's they
and
could've
then you're
stayed,
gonna leave
what's
or
that?
something
Iowa.
happens.
She
That's
could've
not fair
stayed
to the
another
kid.
year.
When that coach probably promised him a starting job, because we all know you can go to the school of your choice, but if I'm not getting the starting job and I'm going to be second fiddle at another school, get me up
Clemson,
out of here so I
Clemson.
can start my career. Of course.
No, you're right, Matt. You're right about this.
What's the guy that was at Houston that went to Kansas? He just got hurt. He separated his shoulder.
McCullers.
The big guy, Dickerson.
Oh, Dickerson.
And I-
went to Michigan.
I can
He
see
went to
him
Michigan
coming
and
back.
then he went to Kansas. Yeah.
Right, because I don't think he's gonna play in the tournament.
He's not going to be a pro anyway.
Right.
He's not going to be a pro anyway.
You don't
That guy.
think so?
But
Right.
No.
Gerard.
He'll get a rookie contract, and after that,
Right.
you won't hear from him
Yeah,
again.
yeah. But that's why I think he might come back.
Right.
He might come
Why
back
you
to
think?
college.
Why you think Baycock stay so long?
You think-
Yeah.
I don't think he got better.
Yeah, but
No. He's
Me
not going to
neither,
be a
but
pro.
I don't think
No,
Bay-
he's not.
I don't think
He
Bay-
might- he
Baycock
might
is an
make it- he
impact
might get
pro,
drafted.
and that's in my opinion.
He might get
He-
drafted
he-
and get the rookie once the rookie
Right.
contract's over. He's not. I don't think he's pro material.
I don't think he. I think he'll make a team,
He's been in
but I
college.
don't think he's going to be an impact pro.
5
I don't
years,
think he's going
and
to
I
be an
haven't
impact
seen him.
pro. But
His game
I hope-
hasn't
He's,
I
just,
hope-
improved
he's
that
a
much.
good
I'm wrong.
rebounder.
He's a
but
great
his
college player.
offensive game is like
Yeah,
not
he-
that good.
He doesn't have a. I don't think the speed of the NBA. I think it's too fast for him. This is just my
Right, your
opinion.
perspective, right?
It's my
Hey,
opinion.
great. So
He's gonna be a better player than Zach Edey.
Zach Edey ain't gonna be a good
Slow
player
as
either.
hell. He's
So we
slow.
need to
yeah, heck, he
clean-
ain't going to be able to get up and down the
That's
court
a
with the talent of the NBA.
But he got a little bit of
and
talent.
plus, the NBA
He's
is
7
not
foot 2.
geared to big
There's a
men
lot
as
of, there's a lot of
it is.
7-foot
That's
guys
his
in the
talent.
league.
No,
That's
it's
his
not.
talent. He's 7'2".
No,
That's
it's
the only
not.
talent he got.
Right.
No,
yeah,
it's
he's
not.
a
If I
big
was 7'2",
presence. That's
I'd
it.
be in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm 67 years old. You
Yeah.
got hit nothing
look.
7'2". You just gotta take up some space.
all right, Matt.
You gotta have some talent.
Wait,
Come on,
real
man.
quick. Let me
Yeah,
ask you
man.
something.
Hold on. Let
talent.
him talk. Let him talk. Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna give
man.
you a dark horse team, Iowa State, right? Iowa State. Watch out for Iowa State. And does anybody know the two kids that are on? What team is that? Jamal Masfrain Jr.'s son,
New
and
Mexico.
Eddie House
New
Jr.'s
Mexico.
son.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Yeah, watch
Yeah.
out for that team too.
And
So-
the coach is Rick Pitino's son.
Just to let you know a little secret, Iowa
That's
State,
right. That's right.
Iowa State ain't a dark horse.
No,
People
they're
know.
not. They're two
People know
seed.
about them.
They're two seed.
Yeah, they're not a dark horse.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they got them winning the chip though.
Well, you
I
got to
don't
see
know.
who's in their bracket.
If you're in the upper echelon, you stand a good
Yeah.
chance.
If you
They
win-
won't. They not
You're right.
surprising
1 and
nobody.
4.
Yeah.
No.
They not
Not after
surprising
the way they
nobody.
trounced
They
Houston.
tough. They
Yeah.
tough. They tough
They
team.
beat Houston by
Well, look.
30.
Ooh, yeah.
I
They blew them
can't
out.
wait the next week to call in to see what double-digit team is still in the Sweet 16. Like there's going to be a couple of 12s in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
More
I
than
believe.
likely. It's always every year you get that.
I'm looking for
Yeah,
my numbers
yeah.
to come out 9 and 9. All right, so
You sound like you need
All
a
right,
tie.
fellas, yo, good to hear from y'all, man. Y'all
I'll
keep
take-
doing your thing up there.
All right, man. Be good, man. And blessings for your niece, I believe you said. That's in the
Yes,
hospital.
yes.
Blessings
Yes,
for her,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
definitely.
Prayers go
All
out.
right. Appreciate y'all guys. Y'all
No
stay
doubt.
up, man. One love.
All right, bro. Be safe.
All right.
peace.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for the
Peace.
call. All right. So somebody said, how could you be able to die for this country and you're not, but not have a drink? Which is a good point. All right. So we're in the first hour. First stop to the next stop. Again, Super Dave, Coach Kirk, Serge, the sports star, Kansas City Chiefs special guest, Anthony Green, Todd the
It's
Magnificent,
only for this
and
1 week.
Slick the Relic.
Next hour, these things come on.
You look good in red, brother. You look
Yeah,
good in
right.
red.
I mean, what a chief for a day. How's that?
You a chief, man.
For the next hour. Believe it or not,
You a chief at the
believe it or
house,
not,
right?
I'm following everything that's going on. They're picking up some receivers.
Who?
We ain't get the
Chiefs?
football yet. We'll get there. We ain't
You
get
talking
there yet.
about the Chiefs or you talking about the 49ers?
Yeah, we're gonna
We can
talk.
talk
We're gonna
about-
talk football next week. We got NCAA and NBA basketball
All
now.
right, and let's go on to the next
Football's in the
stop.
back
It-
door. Matter of fact,
It
we
is-
might not talk today because baseball will be back soon.
True
All right,
that.
so the next stop is the NBA. All right, so
A little more than 3 weeks left in the NBA.
And Milwaukee
Little
is
more.
picking up steam.
Milwaukee who? Bucks?
The Bucks.
I don't know about
did you
all
see
that.
them lose yesterday? There's a lot of steam.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna make a good run.
No, they won.
You think
They
so?
won. They won.
You would
yesterday.
bet your money on that?
Yeah, they won.
You would bet your
Without
money on
Giannis.
that?
won.
Without Giannis.
Yeah, they ain't lose
Yeah.
yesterday. They
Without
won,
But the
Giannis.
game before that, they
It was a quick
lost.
test. It was a quick test.
and they won without Giannis.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Kirk. Be honest.
Okay.
Out of the East Coast, what would be your top 2 teams that come out of the East?
It won't be the Bucks.
Well, name your top 2
Ooh.
teams. We already say Boston is a gimme.
Yeah.
Boston's
And the
again.
What
Knicks.
would be the second?
I
team?
would say the Knicks, or I would say
A healthy Knicks.
yes.
But what if it's not a healthy Knicks? Who would you say come out, Todd? What would you say for your second team besides?
I would say Boston and Milwaukee.
Right.
I would say that.
What about you?
I think I have to agree, but I'm leaning towards Boston getting out of it.
Right. But
He said
who would
2
be your
teams.
second
Yeah,
team?
that
What would be?
probably
I'm not besides that. Let's say the Knicks is not
not even
healthy,
looking at the Knicks.
right? But let's just say who would be your second team that you would say it
because
would be?
they're battle tested. I would look at Milwaukee.
Dame is not battle tested.
John Green said the Bucks are going to get smoked in the playoffs.
And
That's a little true. That's not.
well, look,
You
look
think-
at it
He
this
got
way.
he got playoff
Excuse me.
experience.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah, he
does.
does have
Yes,
that.
he does.
But let me say this: remember he wanted to go to Miami. Can you see him playing defense on Miami?
He don't play defense nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're gonna have to make an adjustment.
But because of his offense,
You
know.
you take that
Right?
for his
Yeah.
office, and that's basically what Milwaukee's doing.
Okay, so
His offense is
so we can
extraordinary.
agree
But
that
their defense gotten
the
better
Bucks
since
will-
Patrick Beverly's shown up.
right.
They all playing. Even
Right.
Giannis is playing harder.
right. So we're gonna say even with the
I'm not believing in Milwaukee. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't
It's
believe
hard
in
to-
them,
it's
but
hard-
It's hard to exclude them out.
It's hard.
say I
No,
chose
I
out
mean
too.
they're gonna. I feel they should be around. They're gonna be there. Are they going to the champion? I don't have them going to the
No,
championship.
I don't either.
But are they gonna be around? They should. Make it to. If you figure those 2 teams meet up against the conference, if it falls that way, and they meet up against each other.
Because the other teams like
But
I can't believe in Cleveland.
no.
All right.
If I had a healthy
That's
Knicks
about
team,
it. Really. Other than
if
the
I had
Knicks,
a
that's
healthy
fine.
Knicks
But
team,
the Knicks have to be healthy.
yeah,
And I,
you know,
to be
They're
honest,
not
I don't think
projecting
Randall's
any-
coming back.
They're
No.
not projecting
I
when
don't think he
Robinson
is.
or
he's
Randall
not coming back.
I don't
I
think
don't
so
think so
either.
either.
They're not projecting when
And
Robinson.
OG's not playing tonight.
Right. He's not
They're
playing.
playing
Injury
Golden State,
management.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But
Something new.
if
I don't know, I think-
Halliburton was playing like Halliburton was before he got hurt, I would give a dark horse to Indiana because
Indiana.
they got some talent.
Right.
But
what's
Halliburton
name?
ain't been the
He's
same.
not 100%. No.
They don't play.
Mathurin is out.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mathurin
he's
is
out.
out.
all right. Go ahead, Arnold. Back to you.
Bars and hoops.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah,
Talk
we
about
have,
it.
we got you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So how about Indiana Pacers?
I
Yeah,
was just saying that.
Serge just
I was
mentioned
just
them.
mentioning them. But Halliburton,
okay.
after Halliburton got hurt, he hasn't been playing the same as he was before. Because if he was playing at that level, I would definitely put them because he's a superstar. But he
That's
ain't
all.
100%.
You say he's a superstar?
Yeah, he's a superstar.
Wow.
I'll catch y'all later.
Hold it.
That's all you wanted to.
That's all you got, brother?
That's all you.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Because
I like
nobody
it.
did.
Wait.
Short and sweet.
Wait a second. You call all the way from California. We want to know what the West Coast
Yeah,
teams are.
Something. I was
And
short
we
and sweet,
know-
boy.
We know that the Lakers and the Clippers are suspect. Did you see that butt whooping the Clippers got last night? So who being that you a guest
Denver
caller,
Denver.
who are your dark horse teams in the West, sir? Go ahead.
I say Denver. And, Oh man, I don't like Phoenix.
You said dark horse.
They all
though.
on the side.
Let me see. I don't know who's the second team I picked today.
I'm always say
Oh, you know what? I tell you what, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Sounds
OKC,
good, but
yeah.
okay.
No, they got a shot.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
They
I'm
got
not. I'm not just going
Yeah, they
nobody.
do.
That's
They
his
got a
opinion.
good team.
They
I
got
got,
a
I got a
shot.
question to ask you.
Mhm.
When y'all saying these teams like in the West Coast, right? I'm not taking nothing away from the record, right? But do you actually think that Oklahoma can go out and they battle tested to go out and beat Denver in a 7-game series?
No.
We
Because
said-
sometimes you can have a good team, and that team is really good in
regular
because
season.
regular season, right? Like the regular season.
Right.
Like, so let's just say if I got 2 games, I might have beat the Lakers or beat a team a couple of times with or without a player. You
Right.
might have won. Even with the player, you won. But it's a whole different chemistry to the team when if you beat me up tonight, and
Right.
then tomorrow night you got to come out
Make
and,
adjustments.
and make an adjustment to a healthy Lakers team.
You mean like the 49ers?
See?
I give it a shot.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad
we
You ain't
skip
gonna
the
catch a
stop
break.
there.
You ain't gonna catch a break.
Because,
You ain't gonna
because
catch a break.
that's the lies.
You
Yo,
gotta
Every
see
time-
how happy
every
they was
time
when
he
they
bring
said
up
you.
anything,
They said
we
you was
say
coming here today.
49ers.
You should have seen how happy they
Good,
got.
good season.
You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Later,
all right,
y'all.
all right,
I'm just
Arnold.
saying.
Thanks for calling.
I like your wristbands.
Thank-
He hung up on you.
You right
he
though,
said
but
he
Never
those
be a
things.
Jet
Oh,
wristband
okay.
on my
Those-
arm because y'all
those-
ain't never gonna win nothing.
Oh,
that's okay.
The Jets ain't never gonna win nothing.
That's okay.
Excuse me, sir.
That's okay.
Jets, and
Excuse
I'm going
me,
on
excuse
record
me.
right
A bit of-
now.
A bit of
If the
humility would
Jets
be due.
win a Super Bowl in this lifespan period.
I saw a Super Bowl in my
guarantee you.
lifetime.
If y'all
I saw a
win
Super Bowl in my
I
lifetime.
guarantee
Me and
you,
Son saw a Super Bowl in our lifetime.
for the whole month,
You too.
for the
Well,
whole,
you're younger than us.
for the whole month of
Yeah.
February, I will treat you to any steakhouse restaurant for the whole month. Every Sunday for the whole rest of that month, I will treat y'all to a steakhouse dinner.
So you
my
hungry, man?
treat.
As long
If
as
the
You hungry, man?
Jets,
I'm
if the
You hungry?
Jets, as long as you alive, this bet will always be standing.
So,
Make sure
your
you stack
team
that money.
will
Sorry,
never.
so let's-
Because I'm coming through and I don't eat steak.
all right, so
I do.
I don't eat steak. I'll find something in there.
so salmon's on the menu for you, but we are talking NBA, and this guy come in as a guest after being here 2 times, not showing up in the proper gear, and now he got it the 3rd time.
Well, I'm in the proper gear today.
You really supposed to have a whole jersey on and a
Yes.
helmet, sir.
You said find something. He said find something, and I found something.
Uh,
$50 fitted on.
and a helmet.
Those are
not
hard
a
to get.
snapback.
Those are hard to get.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
with hard
man.
to get.
He told you go to Fanatics and
He
shit.
said hard to get.
All right, so we talking NBA, and I want you to
Was
pause
they
with
$2?
that.
All right.
Was they $2? It was
I-
50
I
cents.
mean, and
Amazon.
and not to say that I
All right.
don't agree
And
with
free
you,
shipping.
because I don't really
Because he
believe
probably
in,
ordered some other
that
stuff.
guy.
They're
with
not
it.
battle
quarterback.
tested yet,
I
but
I don't believe in that quarterback.
that's gonna that will
going on?
be that will be the
Facebook
difference.
user, whoever that is.
That will be the difference
Yes.
if they OKC being in the playoffs. Everything changed. Everybody knows the regular season basketball and
And playoff
basketball is two different.
It's big
So
time.
the game
difference.
gets slowed down.
right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about, the experience, and then you got to know these coaches is going to get tested. I don't even know who that coach is, but as far as he can make adjustments during the game,
Right.
not even so much during the game, during the series.
During the series.
You know what I'm saying?
Game to
So-
game.
Right, game to game. So
Yeah.
that's it does make a difference, and it's going to be different. So we really don't know, but do they have players that can compete? You
Mhm.
better believe they do.
Shout out to my boy
And
Dwayne.
the
The other thing, like y'all always
Wanna check
say,
in?
you don't know who's going to get hurt.
Right.
That too.
Or if you catch a break, you can get past a certain team.
True.
Because if you playing Denver and Jokic ain't playing, or even Murray, you got a chance of beating
Let me
them.
ask you a question, and that's a good thing. I noticed this yesterday. Is Murray the same Murray as he was before the injury?
No.
You see that, right?
No, he's not.
You can see that, right?
Right.
Because I noticed
He's
it
not.
myself. He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
But
Before the injury, Murray was lights out.
He was lights out.
Lights out.
I got a feeling that come plaoff time,
He'll be
you're gonna
ready?
See a different Murray.
Okay. I hope. I would
think
like to
because
see
you
that
can
old
still
Murray.
see it in spurts. in
Yeah, yeah.
He'll light it up when he has to.
Right.
But for now, he don't have no problem letting Porter and Gordon and
Right.
Jokic
I hope we get that Murray in the
Come
playoffs.
playoffs,
I hope so too.
He's a
'cause
different
I
player in the
enjoy seeing
playoffs
You remember when
anyway.
him and what's his name
Yeah.
was going back and forth from he's on Cleveland, Mitchell, when they were
Yeah.
they played
when in Utah, yeah.
50.
But that's his history anyway. He's always a better playoff player
Yeah.
than he is a
Yeah.
regular season guy.
I want to see that guy. I want to see
You'll
him.
see him.
I want to see him.
Let
And
me
if
go-
you do, then you really can forget it. If they stay healthy, nobody's gonna beat them if that
No.
Murray show up.
They got the best team.
Yeah.
No doubt.
They
Yeah.
have the best team.
And they got a good coach too.
Right.
They
Yeah,
got a good coach. He's a good coach.
Malone's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
Yo, let me ask you, who would you say is? Give me two coaches you think is the two best coaches in the NBA
Right now?
right now.
Well, that guy for Denver, we just say
Right.
Malone. Everybody talks
Eric
about
Spoelstra.
Tyronn Lue.
I would say Miami's coach.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
would
good
go,
coach.
I would go Miami coach.
Everybody always say,
So
you know,
East
What do
Coast
you
and the
think
West
about Lue?
Coast?
Don't
I think he's a good coach.
Who Lou?
I think he's a good coach.
Okay.
Who, Tyronn Lue?
Yeah, I think he's a good coach. He handles to me. Being a good coach, you don't. It's not already all the time looking at the wins and losses. It's how you handle your players, and he always have a lot of star players that he has to handle.
He has star players, and he
has-
gets respect out
right,
of it.
and he gets
Respect
so when
from
you
them.
get
That- I'll
respect
give
right,
out of star players like he does, he got to be a good coach.
right.
You know,
'Cause it's
they're
hard-
not going to do that. 'cause
Right.
they
It's
would-
hard to
they would
coach
run
guys
over
like
him.
LeBron.
Well, Spoelstra
Yeah.
did it.
No, he's a good coach. We say
Yeah,
he's
but he
good.
also had Pat Riley backing him up,
Right.
and that makes a
Pat
big
Riley ain't
difference.
letting nobody cross the line.
Yeah, but then he kept the floor right.
Well, that was one of the
Sure.
reasons why LeBron
But-
didn't want to stay because he
Right.
wanted supposed to gone.
And-
Riley
and-
said, "No,
and-
that's
and
not
Riley
happening.
said no, so he
That's
left.
That's not happening."
Riley is letting nobody gets crossing that line as long as Riley's in charge.
Right.
Believe it or not, Poster's not in charge. Riley
is.
Riley runs that thing.
Right.
Trust me when I tell
He's
you.
the GM, aka
Everything.
coach too.
Everything.
He's running everything.
It's his way or no way.
Exactly.
Nobody looked at Spoelstra as a great coach when he was younger.
No.
No.
Well, he wasn't
Yeah,
a
but at the
coach.
same time, though,
No.
look what
He
he
was-
look what he.
LeBron and all of them.
Right.
Yeah, but look what he.
Yeah,
has-
but you
he's been
still
able
got
to do
you still
with
got
the
Right,
talent.
but he's still doing it with them.
Right, but
right.
he's still
He
growing,
don't have
right?
that talent, and they always in the mix. They
Always.
always in the mix.
Because what he did last year in the playoffs was
But that's
Very.
part of being a great coach
Very.
is being able to grow like that.
Yeah.
Because
Now,
how
you
many
gotta
people
give
gonna
him
step
respect.
out and say Tom Thibodeau's a great coach, and he's been in the league coaching for 30 years, and he still ain't grown to a great coach, according to Knicks fans. Right, Dave?
Well, no.
Well, he's running them. He's running
No,
the players
no,
into the
not
ground.
all Knicks fans. Coach Kurt. Oh, think he's good.
Who? Say it again.
What's his last name? Allen?
Who are you talking about
The
now?
coach from the Pistons when they beat the Lakers in the championship.
No, that was Brown.
Brown.
That was
Larry
Brown.
Brown.
Larry
You talking about
Brown.
Right. So look, he took,
Thought that was
took him a
Chuck
long
Daly.
time.
Before.
People look at him as
Oh, it took him a
Larry
long time to
Brown
win
was
a
the
championship,
coach
but
when
everybody
he
knows
had-
he's a
when he
great
had
coach.
championship?
He's a good
Chuck
coach, though.
Daly was.
When he had Isaiah.
But he's a good coach, though.
Afterwards.
Everybody knew he was a good coach.
Detroit
But
never
see,
won
sometimes
after
you don't
that.
get
Yes,
that
they did.
opportunity.
They did?
Yeah, remember
Somebody
with
who lead.
Oh, Chauncey and them.
Chauncey,
Right,
right,
when
right.
Kobe
And
and
Rip
Shaq-
Hamilton,
when
right,
Kobe
right.
and Shaq
Stay
was
sharp.
happening.
That was Larry
Big
Brown.
differences.
Ben Wallace.
Ben
That was
Wallace.
Larry
Rasheed-
Brown.
and Rasheed
Yeah.
They
Wallace.
did. They
Right.
won that one.
Right. That was,
That
that
one.
was a heck of a squad, though.
It was tough. They were a tough team.
Rasheed
No,
Wallace was
again, you can't go by a guy because he ain't win a championship. They say he's not a good coach.
No, that, yeah, you can't.
You can't go by that. You can't go by that. Everybody, then you got guys who come in, they rookie coaches and they win the championship, and then you never hear from them again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just happen to be lucky to have a team at the time,
Mhm.
and they had the players and they won.
I think if
But,
Coach
you
Woody
know-
was still around, he could coach the Knicks better.
Who?
Coach Woody.
He's a decent coach.
Now
He's a
Oh,
decent
oh,
coach. Right, he was young
liked
back
him.
then. And he's still young.
It was
He
hard because
young
you know
back
you
then.
can't really take.
But
us-
he's a decent
Talent
coach.
away from him.
He didn't.
Right,
He
it
did.
did.
He had problems early in
Yeah.
his career for sure.
They
See,
did. Right.
Right. Pat Riley said he wasn't going nowhere. So you either gonna
Mhm.
deal with him or
Right.
you leave.
Right.
Because he had it when you got somebody with that stature that has your back,
Mhm.
then you could be yourself and do what you got to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All
But
right.
my thing is, Pat Riley, I would say, for the most part, even when he was with the Knicks and he was trying to get part ownership with the Knicks, he had a feel for that game. He had a feel for the players.
Mhm.
Because even when he was with the Lakers,
Yeah.
he had a feel for the game. He had a feel for the players.
He
So
also
it's
had
like,
better talent too.
Yeah, he
But
can
see-
find that talent
Right.
along
Wait,
the way.
you got if you got talent and you bringing them together.
You ask Magic. You ever listen to Magic talk about Pat Riley?
Mhm.
He had the respect of everybody.
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 But when he was there, you knew he wasn't getting that type of respect. because he had Magic, Kareem, blah blah blah. When he earned more respect was when he had the Knicks.
Right.
And when he took over Miami with Van Gundy. Remember
Right.
when he got rid of Van Gundy?
Right.
And he won a championship with them.
Right.
when
That's
he
why I
got the
look at him.
respect, like, yo.
I give him a lot of respect, and I
Yeah,
give the
Magic,
organization
he
and the
get
coaching
like
them
that.
respect.
He just got, yo,
Because
He
when
might
you
not.
look at
He
him-
might not have got it from the outside people, but inside
Right.
he got the respect. Yeah, he got respect.
Mhm.
You know.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
All right.
True. Yeah. Somewhat.
Okay. Go ahead, caller. Who we have on the line?
Hello,
Yes.
this is John Green speaking.
All right.
Hey,
yes,
how you
sir.
doing, John? What's up, John?
Hey,
Thank
how you
man.
doing, fellas?
The lines are
Hey, I
burning
just
up.
wanted to. I know you guys are talking about NBA, but tomorrow is a special anniversary in college basketball.
A special anniversary.
A special anniversary. That's right. Tomorrow will be 58 years since Texas Western beat Kentucky to become
wow.
the first team to win a national championship with an all-black starting
All black
five.
starting five. Right. Wow.
That was 1958. What year was that?
50 something.
No, it's 1966.
66.
66.
March 19th, 1966.
You wasn't born then, man.
That's what missed about a few months.
March 19th. And who was that
And-
again?
Texas
Texas
Western
Wesleyan.
against
Yeah,
Kentucky.
they Texas El
Texas
Paso
Western
now.
Right, take- yeah,
beat
take that.
Kentucky, which had Pat Riley on that team.
I was
That's
gonna
right.
say,
Yeah.
That's right.
Kentucky had Pat Riley on
Yeah.
that team.
Green, what's the name of that movie?
And Adolph Rupp, he was the coach.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's correct.
What's
Don
that?
Haskins coached Texas Western.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie?
Yeah, what was the name of the movie? You remember?
Glory Road.
There you go. There you go. That's it. That's right. That's
They
right.
was tight.
Yeah.
They lost to them. They was
That
tight.
should be, that. Thank you.
That
John,
was
we
a
got to
good
get
one.
you up here. You know, I don't know. I don't know how your schedule is, but you know, we're going to work that out.
Well, the thing is that I can get to where you are. Just let me know, and I'll arrange it one Monday.
All right.
That sound good.
Gotta
Sound
make it
good.
happen,
Sound
for
good.
sure.
All
Okay.
right. So,
Listen.
right quick, our question to you: Who's your top two in the Final Four for the college?
Well, I don't know about Final Four, but I think the championship game is going to be Houston and Connecticut, and Connecticut will win it.
Ooh, that'd
That
be a
would,
good game.
that would be a good game.
I would like to see that game.
That would be a good game.
Yeah.
John Green, you spot on. All right. So, in closing, would you like to share anything else with us?
No, listen, I love the show. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
John, I got a question for you. Best
Yes, sir.
best college game you ever seen?
He said it already.
Best college game I ever
did?
saw.
I must
Woo! Wow.
Oh no, that was.
I have to say, probably the best game I ever saw is actually when Notre Dame snapped UCLA's 88-game winning streak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was Shoemate and them?
1974.
Yeah, Dantley.
Dantley and them?
Shoemate.
Okay.
John Shoemate.
I believe John Shoemate.
I don't remember.
John Shoemate. Yeah, he had to deal with Bill Walton.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a great game. I remember that.
Wow.
What about Elvin Hayes and Kareem in college?
I didn't see that game.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I didn't
I think
see
I
I
saw it
did
on
one. I
television.
didn't. Very few people saw that game because there was no national TV,
Yeah,
right.
national
Wasn't back
contract.
then.
It was at the
for college
Astrodome.
No,
basketball
it
back
was
then.
on, but it came on like
You
tape
had to
delay.
be
tape
extremely-
delay. That's what they used to
It
do
came
back
on real
then.
late, 'cause I
Everything was
remember
tape
watching it.
delay back then.
Well,
Like
I
I saw.
remember Elvin Hayes was killing them too.
What's
well,
the game I
let's be
saw with
honest.
tape delay? I think
The
the
Lakers and
the Lakers and the Knicks.
Well,
And what's name hit a half court shot?
Jerry
Jerry
West.
West.
Jerry West, yeah.
No, the Lakers and the Sixers
Well-
when Magic won that game.
That was tape delay.
That
A
was
lot of
tape
those
Oh,
games was
yeah.
tape
Tape
delay.
delay back then.
Green got something to say.
What's Green?
Hey, Green.
Gab, I'm sorry.
Well, actually, the thing with the Elvin Hayes, the Korean game, very few people saw that game. Even that was in the Astrodome because that you got 71,000 people in a baseball stadium and the
Right.
court was out by second base. So can you imagine sitting out in center field trying to see a basketball game?
Or even trying to shoot.
At
'Cause
second
you got
base?
that big space behind the basket or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Elvin Hayes scored 39 points that night.
he was killing Corey.
That was my guy back in the
He
day.
was killing him. Man. That turnaround
bank
jump shot.
Yeah, turnaround bank
You know
shot.
what else?
And
was a
that was
great game?
that was the deadliest turnaround jump shot ever.
Yes, it was.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
was.
he was a killer.
Mhm.
North Carolina State versus UCLA.
Oh,
in
David
the title
Thompson.
game.
Oh,
David
with
Thompson
Thompson.
and them against
Another good
Myers.
game.
Yeah.
That was a
That
good
was-
game.
Was that what
I don't
Burleson
remember
was
that
on the
neither.
team?
Yes.
Burleson
Yes.
was on.
Yeah, I don't remember that neither.
Nah, that was a
Yeah,
good
you gotta
games,
stop
man.
smoking, stop passing.
Yeah,
No, I don't think he was.
Yeah,
I don't
that-
think he was old enough
that
yet.
UCLA team was a good team too, but they
Yeah.
lost it
Go
on
with
that.
that.
April.
I think the most
That was
disappointing
good.
game
All
I ever
right.
saw was when Michigan with Chris Webber called that.
Oh, that
timeout.
game.
That
Yeah.
was the most disappointing, heartbreaking game.
yeah,
to
that
see.
was-
Well, all right,
Well,
John.
When I
well,
do my little segment, I got one that's gonna beat that.
Oh,
one.
all right,
okay.
so we're gonna clean this up. So, John, thank you again for tuning in and sharing with us. Most appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I appreciate y'all too. Listen, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening.
Y'all do the same, man.
All
Thank
right,
you,
all
man.
Enjoy.
Okay,
enjoy.
thank you. Bye bye.
How about?
The second one when they upset when they beat them,
No,
I
I'm
hate
going.
that game.
I'm going with the first one.
they blew them out the
That's
first
the game I liked.
And I thought they was gonna do the same thing the next year.
Exactly.
And I was so
I think
disappointed.
something was working behind doors.
Yeah, I
there.
think
Got
so
paid.
too.
because
but
They should
because
have beat him. They should have ran him out again.
they
Again.
should have ran him out the gym again.
Again.
Exactly.
Oh, man, that
Ran
was
him
the-
out again.
But
What
it
they
ain't
team?
don't
no
get me
way.
wrong. Duke had a good team, but they wasn't UNLV.
No.
All right, so let's go to the next stop, y'all. Anybody, unless somebody need to get something
Surge.
off their chest.
You want
like
me to
as
do
far-
my little segment
No,
thing
so
real
we're
quick?
gonna get into that.
Okay.
That is the next stop. But
Okay.
I'm trying to wrap up the NBA
Okay, wrap it
and
up.
whatnot. And does anybody have anything else to share about the NBA?
I do.
Or what you
What
got?
you got?
Come on, you. Hold on. You're in charge of sounds. We ain't say you could contribute.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah.
On the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise your hand. You want to
Yeah,
talk?
man.
Raise your hand if you want to talk. You want right?
Right,
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
All right,
We ain't
all
get
right,
that
no,
point.
No problem. All right, so
Okay.
now we're gonna wrap it up and we're gonna go to the segments now. All right, so we're gonna start off with Surge. So this is a sports star moment. Can I get some music, please?
Yeah, give me some good music.
Oh, you slow, man. You
Oh, it's
slow,
too
man.
late. I'm gonna start my segment. I ain't got time for this. Too much dead
All
air.
right, here we go.
But anyway, I want to talk about March Madness.
Mhm.
The craziness that March really is. They had, first things first, Long Beach State fired their coach, Dan Monson, but they let him coach in the tournament, and they end up winning that tournament, and they wasn't supposed to win it. So now you got a coach you don't fired going to the NCAA tournament,
Ain't that crazy?
which is crazy. I'm telling you, it's March Madness. Now, as my boy Green was alluding to, Chris Webber called that timeout. Akron played Kent State in the championship game.
Right.
Kent State came down with 6 seconds left, hit a jump shot to take the lead.
Right.
The kid on Kent State thought they were still losing, and he fouled the kid on Akron on purpose, and they end up losing by 1 point.
Oh wow.
And again, they was winning. You talking about
Oh, that's
having
crazy.
a brain
Far.
freeze?
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what happens when you're not aware. They always talk about court awareness.
Mm-hmm.
When you in a game and you playing a game, you're not aware what's going on.
Once
You know what I'm
again,
saying?
March.
In
It's
that
crazy.
Chris Webber game,
Oh yeah.
didn't they tell
And the
him
betters.
in
Yeah, they told him.
And the
They said they
betters.
told him.
They told
He
him,
said
right?
they didn't. They told him. And he said they didn't.
Well, in,
That
Right,
was the
there's-
argument.
in all fairness, like
Right.
if there's a lot of noise going on, and
Yo,
your
Vic said,
mind,
"Tell
you're
my
not
twin
focused.
what's up." Vic Graham. What's up, Vic?
Shout out to Vic, but if you're not focused on the
You're
situation,
supposed to be. That when you come out the
How you
timeout,
doing,
they
Vic?
let you know if you got a timeout. And most
Right.
coaches will let
Right,
you
but
know.
they'll tell you.
If you got, yes, before you come out, look, we got no more timeouts. You get the ball, you got to get the ball in
Right.
bounds, do whatever.
Oh, we got a
You can't
foul
go-
to
oh, we
give
got
or
foul,
something
whatever.
like
They
that.
let you know that.
but
So
again,
if he brain fog.
right, again, they could have said it to him, and maybe it
He
didn't.
panicked.
Right,
That's all that was.
exactly.
Is a panic mode.
Right.
All right.
People do that.
So
The
You know.
the other two things I wanted to mention, you got Duquesne. And it's funny because the guy who coaches Duquesne used to coach Akron, which was the team that won on that crazy play at the end of the game. And his name is Keith Dambert. And I just found out that he was LeBron James high school coach at St. Vincent
Okay.
St. Mary.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now he's taking Duquesne for the first time in 47 years. They haven't been there since 1977 when Norm Nixon was the star of that team. I didn't even realize Norm Nixon hasn't been in the league since 1989. It's amazing all the years have gone by since these guys have played, and yet still they part of our memories.
Memories, right? Wow.
And then I'm going to get to the biggest egregious thing, which we talked about a little bit. The Big East has a number 1 overall seed. They got a number 2 seed and a number 3 seed, and that's all that they got in the championship, the NCAA tournament. But then you got other schools with 8 teams, which was the Big Ten and the SEC. Both got 8 teams in, but none of them have more than 2 teams in the top 12. Big East got 3 teams in the top 12, only got 3 teams in. The Mountain West got San Diego State, which is a 5th seed, 2 7ths, a 10th, and a 2 10ths and an 11th, and 3 of their teams are playing on Wednesday and Thursday.
That's crazy.
Just to get into the tournament.
Right.
But yet and still, Seton Hall, St. John's didn't qualify. Even Providence might have had a chance to qualify. I think it's ridiculous that these teams, when you're the 2nd ranked or the 3rd ranked conference in all of basketball, there's no way that you could have 3 teams at the top of that conference in the tournament and not have more than 3 teams in the tournament.
I don't stand that either.
It just makes no sense
None
to me.
at all.
Nobody could ever be able to explain that to me. I don't care what metrics you went by. You got St. John's, like you said, they beat Creighton. They won 5 games in a row. They beat Butler, which is another strong team.
Right.
They played Connecticut tough in the playoffs. Come on now. And Seton Hall beat Connecticut.
Right.
And they would have a 13-7 record in the league. 13-7. And no team that in the Big East, they're the first team that had 5 more wins than losses that didn't make the tournament. The first one in the history of the Big East.
That's crazy.
The Big East been around since the 80s.
Right.
It is crazy.
It's just.
Do you know what their overall ranking is?
Who?
St. John's.
St. John's on the net was 37, and on the Ken Palm was 25.
Wow. They should have been in.
37 and 25. San Diego State was 38 and 36, and they the best one out of Mountain West. The other 5 teams are behind them.
But that's when you don't have nobody questioning it.
Oh, people are questioning it.
No, but when there's a larger body questioning it,
well,
asking why.
But that's
those things are always going to get
but
done.
I'm gonna give you what I think the reason is. They have those schools there that got in. Almost every one of those schools, except maybe San Diego State, has absolutely nothing else going on in their town. Absolutely nothing. No, you can look at the schools where they're from. I want to ask you something, the whole
sir.
thing. And not only that, they're getting paid. So now, and I don't know if these people who did all this is actually thinking this, but once again, it get back to money. You get the Mountain West in. Those little schools that don't normally get paid, they're gonna get hit off. St. John's and Seton Hall and all these, they play in big arenas. They got people sold out all the time. They're getting paid anyway.
Right.
So I think money has a little bit to do with all this too.
But I thought the colleges that get in divvy it up in the conference anyway. No.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. If you got 6 schools out of 11 in there, right, there's more to divvy up.
I just thought of something about this. Do you think that it could be a personal thing, vendetta against Rick Pitino to punish him?
From the select committee?
But what about the other schools?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about St. John. I just thought about it just now.
So
the election committee?
Yeah.
They part of the NCAA.
It might be more better food for thought of it.
You know,
they play better next
but
year.
not only that,
I just thought about that just now.
But you got to remember, he got in last year with Iona.
Right.
Right, he definitely did.
So they didn't hold that against him.
That's
then.
true. I ain't think that's true.
So I don't think it's a personal thing.
Did they get in this year too?
No,
I don't think
think
Wagner got
it. Yeah, Wagner.
That's true. I forgot they did get in with it. They did get in
last year. And probably shouldn't have gotten it, right?
He did.
What?
Iona?
Last year.
They was good.
They won the automatic bid.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think they was the top seed in that conference.
They was.
Yeah.
So
no, he had a good team on that team.
It's crazy. He had a crazy team because he had the kid Jenkins,
right,
and he had the kid that played for Florida,
right,
Clayton, and he's top scorer for Florida.
Right.
So they had a great backcourt.
They had a good team, and that's like you say, he brought the guard over with him. He made tournament team.
Yeah, it's always somebody gonna get knocked out who should be in there. We talked about
that. But then when you wind up being, you wind up having to accept the decision of the selection committee. They do this every year.
Yeah, but usually it's like they said this year it was crazy because it was 5 teams
Right,
that
5
did it,
teams,
and usually
right.
1 or 2.
Right.
Normally not 5. So yeah, this year is kind of a crazy year as far as I'm concerned. But my argument is, how can you compare the Mountain West Conference to the Big East?
Right. Normally,
How can you get
right.
6 teams out of the Mountain West Conference and only 3, and their 3 are the top 3, 1, 2, and 3, top 12 teams in the country,
Right.
and you're gonna tell me that the competition in the Mountain West is that much better that you could put 6 of their teams in, and you can only put in 3 teams from the Big East?
Right.
That was never heard of. Big
That's
East only getting
ludicrous.
3
Right.
teams. Never heard of that. Never heard of that.
Yeah, that's my spot.
That was great. I
Yeah.
mean, I would think that was great. Applause, sir.
He's fine.
All right.
Yeah, he's
anyway.
fine.
man.
All right,
Sound
so-
effects, man. Go home.
All right.
I got.
Well, I mean, he said that was it. So thank you for the applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Anthony Green, I know this is something, but you a guest. We're not trying to put nobody on the spot, but we're just doing segments. So is there anything that you would like to share? And being that you're a very well-spoken brother, and we do appreciate you here.
Are we talking about sports or non-sports?
Whatever you want to talk about. Yeah?
Share it, brother. Share it.
Actually, you know what? I want to go way off topic with a non-sports thing. I'm tired of my young people destroying each other. When I have to look at the media the other night and see that 2 girls got stabbed up by a dude who didn't want to they didn't want to give you your phone number.
Right.
Kill one of them.
Ain't that crazy?
And then I'm looking at Miami. They had a something going on at the beach, and y'all started shooting and carrying on at the beach. And it's like, we better than that, and we a lot better than that. And it's like I get tired of picking it up and seeing state after state, not just us. Even though I know it was going on, but social media have brought a lot of things more to light. And it's not just because of this. And then we so quick to yell, "Stop the violence." We don't want the police brutality against us, but we will destroy ourselves for silliness. And I get tired of it. Sometimes it's just depressing that a parent right now have to make funeral arrangements. Not graduation and not prom, but funeral arrangements.
This is crazy.
And
It
it's
is
not-
crazy.
And it's going, and I would like that the NBA and the sports in them to address it more. To address it more. Because these young kids look up to the John Morants, they look at all this other stuff. And if one voice can be heard of the NBA or the NFL or the baseball league, y'all can address kids. And I have family members that have cancer and stuff like that. But address some of the other things that's going on in the urban areas, because a lot of this stuff is not being addressed. And if you can promote the stop the violence or anything, or help get guns off the street, and we'll give you free tickets to the game this night or whatever it is, it would help some. It would help some, because one gun off the street can save a life.
You got that right.
One gun off the street can save a life. And I would love to see, just on a higher platform, that address it. And it doesn't have to be a mass shooting, but just the urban areas is getting hit all the time. And then the summer is coming, and it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse.
So, you're right. The devil is a lie, and I guess we have to hope and pray for people to do better. If you know better, you could do better. And we just got to keep our fingers crossed.
That for me, the problem starts, of course, with government and the local police. The courts, they took so much away from the police. They could only do so much. They arrest these people and let them back on the street.
Right.
They're not holding these people in jail.
Put it back in the
It's
street
the
in 6
laws.
hours.
The laws are too lax, and that's the problem. Because everybody was complaining before when they talked about the law, the stop and frisk and all that
Right,
stuff.
right.
How they was, it was a lot of our people. And for me, I get tired of it because a lot of our people are the ones who are carrying the guns. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have it both ways.
No.
You know what I mean? The
Absolutely
streets was
correct.
much better when they was doing the stop and frisk, even though some people, now you had some cops that were doing it wrong. We know that.
They're doing a little
Not
extra.
everybody
right.
was doing it the right way, but at the same time, we had a little law and order back in those times.
Mhm.
There's no law and order right now.
No.
There's none.
They don't fear them.
They're not fear. They're beating
don't-
them up.
They
Right.
beating them
They're
up.
beating them
Yeah.
up.
Ain't
Yeah,
that
they beat
crazy?
them up.
Yes.
I saw one
You know
video
what I
on
mean?
the train. The guy was
Yeah.
arresting somebody, and his friends came and jumped the cop.
Jump
Right.
the cop.
Yeah.
So
Remember, guys jumped that cop in 42nd
Right.
Street.
Right.
so that's the world that we living in now.
Mhm.
And like you said about the guns, you got more guns on these streets than ever before
ever.
because
Yeah.
people fear, and they gotta protect themselves.
Mhm.
Besides the people that's go out there doing bad who want to go out there and commit crimes, But you got the innocent people, they're going to carry guns because they're in fear, because they know that the laws are lax.
And like
So
Green, Green
I got a
brought up-
question.
Uh-huh.
It was this part of your segment because you just picked the. You
well, we can't
the man.
comment on the
No,
segment.
no.
Oh,
I
I
was
just
just-
no, that
'cause-
wasn't my
No,
segment.
because I wanted to take time out to shout out your wife because she felt compelled to say amen, brother, to Anthony Green. And I,
Okay.
again,
Thank you,
applause.
I
Anthony
didn't even
Green.
see my wife
He
want to
spoke,
say that.
right, so and the
I
couple
didn't even
John
see that.
Green, everybody
But he's
agreed,
right.
I like
so-
what he said with John Green.
right. So everybody,
No, but
and
what
I
you
feel
said,
you. I
Todd
feel you,
is saying
magnificent.
is
But-
100% because you can't just arrest somebody and 6 to 8 hours later he's back home in the street with
In
no
the street.
bail.
When you got
He's
other
right,
when you
with
got
no
other
bail.
people in government talking about we're not sending somebody to your state who we arrest who did a crime in your state because we fear you're gonna let them go, we're gonna keep them,
Mhm.
they're
Right.
not gonna extradite them. What does that say about your state?
It doesn't. It don't
But-
say nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what?
You know what it?
Let-
Go ahead.
Let me just say this. We all remember, well, we all should know the case in Long Island where they chopped the bodies up and threw them in the park.
Right.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Now, those people got sent home with an ankle
with
bracelet
an
on.
ankle bracelet.
Now, the brother in the Bronx did the same thing to a cat that was an enemy of his in prison.
Right.
Chopped him up, had him in the house.
Right.
They charged him with murder. He didn't get no ankle bracelet.
Right.
And this is the reason why people say things is the way they are, because it's too extreme one
Right.
way, not extreme
It's
enough
the
the
another-
other way.
the other way.
Right, there
Exactly.
you go.
It's not inconsistent. It's racist.
Well,
Let's
that's
be
good.
honest about it.
But
It's
that's
not
the
because the people in
inconsistency.
Long Island was white and the ones in
Right.
the brother was a brother.
And you know what?
Well, that's true.
That's the
stop and frisk,
inconsistency.
like what y'all brought up, the stop and frisk was very. It's a double-edged sword. with
Sure.
Stop and frisk,
Right.
You know?
Did you know that the stop and frisk saved a woman's life in the Bronx when they had it? It was, and I was just looking at News 12 one night, and they had a stop and frisk, and the guy picked up his baby mother and had her in the trunk of the car,
Mhm.
him and his friends, and the cops stopped and frisked the dude that went in the store. The car pulled over and went in the store
Right.
and stopped the frisk, and she was banging on the thing,
Oh,
and
they heard it.
made them open the trunk up.
And
She said, "I've been in this trunk since this morning, and it was damn near midnight."
Right.
Wow.
And she said they was planning on killing me,
Mhm.
and they were just trying to figure out how they was going to get rid of me.
Right.
And that stop and frisk, had they not stopped that dude running in the store,
It
they
saved
would have never heard that woman in the trunk of the
right.
car.
It saved a lot of people's lives of that we probably don't even know, because what they did with it is only talked about the negative of it.
Right.
Was
Yeah.
violating people's rights. But I'm quite sure it saved a lot of people's
But
lives.
see, when
Named
you,
a lot.
Well, you
when
just don't know.
Right. And this is the thing. When you violating people's rights, now you take the city to court, and now they just paying money because they want the stop and frisk to continue. So they just paying money out. Taxpayer money. This is what we paying.
But my thing
You know
was
what I'm saying?
with the stop and frisk. Yes, they were going to mostly black and Latino neighborhoods and frisking guys on the corner,
Mhm.
rolling up on them. But where was most of the crime at?
I'll tell you this much.
In the
You didn't
urban
answer my
area,
question first.
It was
There's,
in,
there's crime in the hood. There's always gonna be crime in the
Right.
I
hood.
mean, it's always there, all
But
day,
this is
all
the
night.
thing. They'll treat blacks and Latinos
Right.
as hard targets. They'll treat whites and Asians as soft targets.
But I'm
But
not
they don't
afraid
even
of whites.
go
But they
out
don't
there.
have as much crime
We
in
don't
their
know
neighborhood.
that. We don't know that.
But listen, when
What-
I go
What
out,
do you think?
I'm
What do you
not
think?
afraid
Listen to
of
this.
whites
Listen
and
to this.
Asians.
Listen to this.
I'm
Okay.
looking at what I see on TV.
Listen,
Okay.
listen
But
what he's
listen to
about
what
to
you're
say.
saying.
Listen to what he's about
Listen
to
to
say.
what you're saying.
Listen to this.
And I'm guaranteeing you this, right?
And
And
tell me.
and I grew up in Long Island and I grew up in the Bronx. I had both. I'm not afraid of Asians and whites.
Right.
I'm not afraid of them.
Right.
But you let me go to the store, it's my own people
Right.
that
And that's
stand there. I shouldn't have to say pardon me or nothing
Right.
like that. I don't want to be labeled as OG,
Right.
the old gangster in the neighborhood.
Right.
Because
So-
that's what OG means.
Mhm.
The old gangster in the neighborhood. Right?
Right.
I want the same respect that I walk down the street when I'm in a white and Chinese neighborhood. I want in my own neighborhood. I don't want the gun violence there
Right.
because it's flooding.
But you know what?
And
The,
like he said,
you know what the difference is,
you
Green?
keep putting the same dude back in the street.
Right.
But you know the difference, Green?
How
When
do you
you in
think-
Long Island walking, you the one they fearing. They not fearing you, not
But
fearing them, but they
understand
still
that-
fearing you.
But
Right, that's true,
understand this,
too.
though.
Why?
But understand this,
Why?
though.
You're not
It's-
nobody who should be feared.
I'm not worried about the person that's fearing me. I'm worried about getting from point A to point B with no problem
Right.
from my own. I'm worried about when the young ladies tell a man no.
And that means no.
Why you
Leave me
stab him?
alone. Right.
What was in your
He gotta
mind?
be
And he was with some friends. Why your friends didn't stop you doing some stupid shit? You go
Stupid
by the
stuff like
door.
that.
They go into the corner store, right?
No.
He locks the door so he couldn't get in. He banging on the door.
Right.
Then he walk away. They they think he gone. They come out. He come right back and stab
It's crazy.
stab one twin. He stabbed
And
both
that's
his
why I
twins.
say-
both, one died.
Right. One died.
With the amount of money that's being spent in the NBA towards everything else, I would like it to see that the NBA, all the major sports, NFL, Major League Baseball, soccer, hockey, all of them,
Come on, support that.
support. Yo, we'll take some of the guns off the street, and if you will give you tickets to the game.
Mhm.
We got at least you could create a front row seat
Right.
for somebody and say, listen, if y'all bring these in, we give you some tickets to the game.
But they do that with
You know?
the police in the
Right.
churches,
I
and
understand that.
people go in there and they give their guns up, and normally most of the time is old guns and stuff that don't even work. But the real criminals, the ones that got the hardcore stuff, you don't see them going in
No,
there
they're
to
not
give their
giving that.
guns
They're
up.
not-
They're not
you're
gonna
not
give
gonna
it up
get
for
it.
an NBA ticket.
You're not gonna get a gun from everybody. I just
just-
want to see the dent.
They got to change the laws back.
And
The
the
laws,
laws got-
have
they
to
have
be
to.
changed
And what
back.
Todd is saying is true.
They have to be
The
changed
laws
back.
got- if a cop pick you up at 8:00 in the morning, there's no for some egregious something that you did in the street.
Nah, you
and
shouldn't
he
be
pick you
out.
up at 8:00 in the morning. How's the cop going home, and he's seeing you going back up the street
Right.
in the
Mhm.
same neighborhood to keep menacing
Yeah.
The
what
laws
you're
gotta
doing?
be changed.
The law,
It's
he's right.
hard
The
to-
laws got to be
It's
changed.
hard to be changed when you have inconsistencies in law enforcement.
No,
You know
it's
what I'm
no.
saying?
That's a city council
That's the
making
city
that.
council.
That's a city council.
And that's the government of the body
understand
of-
all that.
No,
of
but
we
they're
elected
doing it
to
because
keep
of the
allowing
pressure
it.
from people who are saying that they are inconsistencies out here.
Right.
You gotta understand, you being harassed just because you
Right.
black or Hispanic.
Right.
Right.
And
And the reason they don't do it in the other neighborhoods is because they don't fear us.
Mhm.
They don't fear them.
I got Green as the bad cop, and Green is the one harassing me, and Todd is
So-
standing there letting them harass me.
So what are we gonna
This is the
do?
problem.
Right.
So what are we gonna do? You ain't gonna please everybody.
No, you're not. Somebody's
So
going.
you gotta make a decision what's gonna make the most sense, and what's gonna keep the people the most safe.
Mhm.
And if somebody gotta be inconvenienced,
So be it.
so be it.
And
That's what I
maybe
say.
what it's going to take
Okay,
is somebody on that
inconvenience
city
and you're
council
safe.
or in a politician's family get hurt.
Then they're gonna want to change
that dude.
everything.
I pray for that dude that because they're going to crucify him.
Nothing but lawsuits, and that's what's going to happen.
Okay, well.
Money to pay out,
Let me ask you a
you know what I'm
question.
saying? And that's what's going to happen.
Just before we get off, so let me ask you a question. Right? When is the last time that you went into the Asian and the white neighborhoods and you seen 24-hour stores open?
They don't have them.
I don't usually go out to
I
other
know.
neighborhoods.
But when
check
you
this
do,
out.
do
Why not?
But let me
Todd, say it again.
They don't have them.
Wait,
Todd,
listen.
say it again.
They don't have them in those neighborhoods.
You know why? Because they at
'Cause they don't-
nighttime
They home.
they home.
Let me-
If they
let
ain't
me
got no
say
milk.
this.
They got milk. They got no milk for the
What,
rest of the night.
what else don't they
Hold on,
have?
hold on,
They don't
son.
have 3 liquor stores on the same
No,
block.
they
either.
don't.
Let me
They
say
don't.
something.
They don't.
But I bet you on your block they have them.
And we don't own them.
Look,
We
there's
don't
a lot
own
of
those
things
liquor
that-
stores.
no, There's a lot of things that we witness.
If you keep the animal
It's
fueled
because
up with
we're in
liquor,
New
they're
York.
gonna keep. They're
You know what
gonna
I'm
keep
saying? You go to other cities and towns and you see the other stuff happening out there. It ain't got nothing to do with us. It got with us getting lynched and dragged and everything. You understand what I'm saying? We're condensed. There's a lot of congestion here. There's a lot of harassment. There's a lot of decades.
But you know why they do that, right?
Depression and all this other
You
stuff.
know why they condense us like this? Because if something jumps off, they know where to find us.
All right, so check
It's the
this.
truth.
It's true.
Why do you think they
It
do
is.
ghettos?
It
Because they want you in that spot.
That's true.
All
That
right.
is true.
All right,
don't mean you have to
gentlemen,
act that way.
gentlemen. All right, so this was great, but we need to
But the other
move on
misconception
to
is
the
that
next-
the majority of us act that way. It's not the majority of us.
No, it's not.
the minority of us that act that way.
Right.
It's not
But
most
see,
of us. Most of us are law abiding.
Look, they'll display that. See, this is the beauty of the smartphone. They'll display that on mainstream media. But when you go to YouTube and everybody got their own phone, you'll see other people other than us doing the same exact stuff.
But I don't care about that. I
I'm
care
just
about what we
explaining.
doing.
You're right. You're looking at New York.
All right.
It's going on all
I
over.
remember that.
All right,
John
so
Green.
that was great. He was talking about
That guy that killed the city councilman that was killed. I remember that.
in Brooklyn, right?
right.
Yeah, I remember.
I was
that.
during the parade. Was that?
No, this is
No?
not the one during the parade in the
Oh.
chamber. He was running for office.
Oh,
Right, that was downtown Chamber
Downtown,
Street.
yeah.
Right. I
I
remember
remember
that
that.
too.
What happened?
Oh,
All right.
That
I never
councilman.
had to run from the Ku Klux Klan, so I shouldn't have to run for a
You
black
shouldn't.
man.
Right.
You
So,
should.
all right, so we need to move on because we only have a few minutes left. So who's next with their next segment? Anybody?
I got one.
Go ahead,
I got
Tim.
one. It ain't gonna be long. Shouldn't be long. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it seems like to me, with the NFL free agency, it seems like they're more concentrated on that, like who's winning the prize more. That when the draft is about to come up,
Oh, no,
they
they-
ain't even talking. I mean, as far as the only thing about the draft, they talk about the quarterbacks,
Right.
basically who's going to be picked, what quarterback,
Right.
But it seems like they're more concerned when you hear something in the news about somebody got signed by this place. It's like,
Right.
now they talk about, well, who won the as far as the draft, the free agency, who won
Right.
that period?
Right.
They ain't even talking about that we got a draft that's coming out
Right.
in a couple of months.
It keeps
And
guys
who's gonna
like us
win that?
talking
You know what I'm
about
saying?
football.
Honest,
That's
I'm one
what
of them.
Yeah,
I'm
because that's
so
what you
glued
hear.
to that TV.
Tell you who's winning so far in the free agency. Who was it? What team is winning? You know what I'm saying?
But you know what?
Right.
You know what?
Absolutely right.
The thing
I'm
with that,
so glued to
Yeah,
that
the
TV.
thing with that is
Who doing what? Yes.
free agency allows you to go out there and get guys who you already know are established and know with what you're getting.
Right.
And with the Jets, they got 3 offensive linemen. So now they don't have to focus on an offensive lineman in the
Nope.
draft. They
Right.
could go
Nope.
ahead and pick Brock
something
Bowers.
else, other
Right.
needs.
Right,
Other than-
another
yeah.
need.
Right.
So that's
Right.
the importance of free
No, it is
agency.
important.
Free agency,
But
the draft is a crapshoot because
Right.
you could pick Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams could turn out to be Ryan Leaf, or he could turn out to be Peyton Manning, but you don't know until he plays.
that's
So,
true.
True.
That's true.
It's the
So
same with all them guys.
Huh?
I'm
did you
sorry.
see-
Go ahead.
What I
think it
wanted
is
to
to
do
address the
was
problem. That's why free agency to
Alright.
me is so important.
Oh, it's important.
It's like
Alright.
I look at it like when he's saying, I look at it like, yo, to see that I can get a professional player coming in that's coming to my team and how we're gonna address this, and the other thing, because I'm afraid of the draft. The draft is the unknown. Even though this kid is top tier, I really
You don't know how he's gonna do at the next level. Yeah, you don't know what he's gonna do at the next level.
But at least I know if somebody
very
coming
few
from
short
this team,
things.
Right.
I know what he's doing.
Right.
And I'm like saying, yo, I look at the emphasis on the free agency, like, yo, this is like
yeah, it's the
cream
crown
of the crop.
jewel
Yep,
of
it's the cream of
right.
the crop for me.
So
Your team lost a lot.
oh.
We can still lose a
No, I'm
lot and
saying.
still beat your
No,
team.
they did,
on
though.
Any given Sunday, at any time, we gonna beat your team by 10
I'm not worried
points.
about you beating us. I'm worried about you beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you beat them?
All right, so
Y'all ain't gonna beat them neither.
all right, so it's 6:22. So that was supposed to be a magnificent moment, all right? But are we finished?
Yeah, I'm finished with it.
That
I do
was
something.
great.
Yeah.
So now it's up to you or you. So
I want to go. Did anybody see Chris Canty say that Jalen Hurts was a top 10 quarterback?
I
He
didn't
said
see
that
it.
he
He
was.
said he was not.
He wasn't.
Was not a top 10 quarterback.
He said he wasn't.
Yes.
He says a lot of things that
And he
I don't
took- and
agree
he took-
with.
He was taking some heat. They
I
were
mean,
they were
he-
all over his case. You say he's not even in the top 10?
I don't know if y'all watch him a lot when he's on Get Up or whatever. There's a lot of things he says that I don't.
He's off the hook.
Yeah,
for
I'll
saying
be
some
like,
stuff.
Yeah, he
I'll be
got
looking
some
at him like,
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
yo,
a
like
question.
I don't know if you took too many hits as offensive
But
lineman.
he's not the only
Where
one.
would
'cause
you,
I-
where would you put Hurts in the top 10?
What you call him said,
I would.
if you
number 10.
remember, he's definitely a top 10
But
quarterback.
where would you put him at?
I
Eric?
don't matter. He's just in there. I don't know the number, but he's a top 10 quarterback. I remember the kid, the GM
Mhm.
for the Jets in Miami.
Right.
Tannenbaum said he's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not going to make it as a quarterback
Right.
in this
I
league.
remember them
And
saying
what
that.
did he almost do? He almost got MVP
Mhm.
in that season when he said that.
Right.
I was like, how can you sit there, you know what I mean, and you say that you watch this guy play and you say that?
Mhm.
I don't understand that. You know, and he also talked about the two times MVP for Baltimore.
Yeah,
the
yeah, he
Ravens.
did say
he
that.
said with him too. And I'm looking at, and they let this guy on TV and they get a job and they get paid to say this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? And nobody comes
he-
at him, you know.
He had the guy from the Chargers ahead of him.
Justin Herbert.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now Herbert's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But I
he
don't know.
hasn't,
I don't think he hasn't done.
he's not been in MVP material yet.
No.
I think he'll be with Jim Harbaugh. He had the wrong coach. That Staley was an idiot.
Yeah.
Did he say that because of Kenny Pickett? What made him say
No, they were talking about top 10 quarterbacks,
Oh, okay.
and he didn't name them. And that the rest of the panel, the other girl who I don't really like,
Kimberly
yeah,
Moore.
I don't
Moore.
take care for her.
Okay.
And it was somebody else who was on the panel. Oh, what's his name? That this guy came back to ESPN.
Ryan Clark.
Ryan
Right.
Clark. He was looking at him like, "What? Are you sure? But you want to rethink that?"
Yeah, he be saying something off the wall.
He do say some
I be
crazy
looking at
stuff,
him
man.
like, I don't know what but
Sometimes-
everybody's entitled to their opinion.
True.
But I don't be
Okay,
agreeing
so
with him most of the time.
that was the coach's corner. All right, so the Relic, it's your turn.
I'm tight with last night. All right. Yeah, we lost to the Spurs last night, and
Yo was winning that whole game.
I don't understand something. All right, this is the problem. Right, when Game 6 of Miami, when Miami played the Spurs, and Duncan was killing them, 31 points, 17 rebounds. I think that's what he had. And at the last end of the game, you sat him, right? So I'm bringing that up because of, and then they lost Game 6. They might have had a chance had they left Duncan in the game. So last night,
Right.
seconds left in the game, 3-point deficit, and you got Cam Thomas on the bench, and he's killing them. 29 points, and he's sitting on the bench. Like, I don't understand what these coaches is doing, man.
Maybe they was going offense, defense.
Offense, defense, they on offense right now.
I don't know why he wasn't.
For a lot of that game, they had the other Cam Johnson on the bench too. They didn't. It's like the second half he was.
Shoots hot early,
Then they put him in at the end to take the shot. He's ice cold. He missing.
Right.
They had him on the bench for a long time too. I agree with you on that.
Cam Thomas sitting on the bench. Now, the reason I bring it up is because I don't know if y'all watched the game.
I saw most of it. Yeah.
I watched the game last night.
Did you see when Schroeder went to shoot the three?
Right.
He went to pass the Cam to Thomas. They knew he was hot, so everybody ran it.
Yeah, and he was wide open. So exactly.
So you don't put Thomas in the game just being a threat.
Right.
Like,
I
come
get
on,
you.
man.
You're absolutely
So
right.
that's on my mind right now.
I got you.
Do you actually think?
What's on my mind is that they had a
Knicks?
10-point lead and they blew a
They
10-point
blew that
lead.
game. They was winning.
They
most
should
of
have won that game.
Yeah, they should have won that game. They was winning
All
that
right,
whole
so
game. They should have won.
is
Who
that
in here
it?
still watching the
All right, so
Net fans.
we got 4 minutes left. So
Net fans still
all right,
watching that game.
so
Dave called me and asked me if I was watching.
all right, so what I want to try to wrap it up
Net,
now.
Jets and Mets,
So
all trash.
all right, so
Stop talking about my team. Watch him out.
all right, so here we go. Here we go. So in 2 more weeks, it'll be our 3rd year here. So I started with Coach Kurt. So Coach Kurt been with me through thick and thin. We started out with
Wow, we gotta give him applause for that.
Mike, and we had Dana and Gal Flanagan.
When he first started?
Right.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. I would say Mike and Dana.
It was Mike and JC.
No, Dana came the first time.
Not before JC.
No, JC did not come.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Sean Carter. That's the right JC.
Didn't his name on the contract the first time we did
No.
it? Well, Dana's name never been on the
He,
contract.
he didn't show. JC did not
Wrong
show.
answer.
Okay. All right.
So,
Who was it?
it was-
Let him talk.
so right. Because
I
now
ring the bell.
now it's 3 minutes.
Couple
All right.
minutes.
So again, so we've been ups and downs as time went on.
Mhm.
JC did come on board, and then Flanagan came on, I guess, when he was out.
Right.
And then Dana came. Dana was here, brought Neil. We moved along. I mean, Todd came before Neil, and then came the Surge game and all. And we're growing, and as we grow, we're getting better. I hope that we're getting better. 628. Now we have me, Coach Kurt, Surge the Sports Star, Todd the Magnificent, and Slick the Relic. All right. So
And we got Green as a special guest.
special
All the
guest.
time. Always welcome.
All right. So over the 3 years,
He's about to be
It's
replaced as our number one caller, though.
up and down. It's up and down, and you always try to give yourself a good window between 3 and 5 years in the business. So we're still growing, we're still hitting little bumps in the road, but
Congratulations
hopefully,
to y'all, man.
Hopefully we'll be all right
We're sticking it
as
out.
we
We're
move
sticking
it
it
right.
out.
The plan is to stick it out. At least we got 2 more years to see exactly where we're going. All right. So with that said, everybody within please continue to listen. Thank you for your support. Please tune in the next couple of weeks, especially 2 weeks when we will celebrate our 3rd anniversary. All right. So
Let them carry that.
with that being said, thank everybody for listening, and we'll be back next week. This was a Super Dave moment, and we appreciate everybody. See y'all next week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Peace and love.
Greatness.